total immunity, which all presidents have always had. I mean, we're going to talk about that and take your calls, but I like how they make a big deal out of this, like something new and dramatic has happened. All presidents have had immunity. This is not new. They just hate Trump. So we're going to cover that. We'll be on the air shortly. And there's a few other things to talk about too, but Biden's bizarre speech last night where he had all the makeup on. Biden looked like he was in blackface, tell you the truth, didn't he? Looked like it to me. Looked like it to me. Take advantage of his free phone consultation too. Go to yeah, I guess they're going to have to stop calling Trump Orange Man and stuff. Here we go. We got one more commercial. We'll be on the air right after this. I don't have time to spend hours in the doctor's office or waiting hours in one of those big labs. That's why I go to any lab test now of Boca and any lab test now of Coral Springs for all of my lab work. Their techs are highly skilled. All right, stand by. Make sure you like the video. If you're new, subscribe. Oh, man. Doctor's orders and prescriptions, I'm not needed either. I'm in and out in 15 minutes or less. I get the results the next day in my email box, and they also send it to my doctor. There's lots of lab test nows around, but these are the only two. 35 seconds. So don't use the rest. Only go to any lab test now of Boca and any lab test now of Coral Springs. Any lab test now of Boca is in the Sandalwood Plaza. That's where the Western Beef is, between Palmetto Park Road and Hillsborough Boulevard, on the east side of State Road 7, 441. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is on the southeast corner of University and Bramblewood by the Coral Square Mall. Call any lab test now of Boca at 561-237-5009. Any lab test now of Coral Springs number is 954-906-5983. And don't forget to mention that you heard about them on the radio.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with
All righty, it sure is. Oh, man, what an exciting day. It's Tuesday, July the 2nd, 2024. My name is Brian Craig. This, of course, is Florida's longest-running radio show, the Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. And man, oh man, what a great day. So President Trump was given total immunity from any type of criminal prosecution while he was president. So all of these cases against him, Fannie Willis with her gigolo boyfriend and that corrupt case, evaporated. Judge Cannon here in Florida, the documents case, evaporated. Judge Chunkin, who used to be Hunter Biden's boss at the law firm, that case evaporated. Now, Judge Merchan, he's a different story because his daughter took those many millions of dollars. So they've taken the money. So things are a little more difficult with him. But that entire case in New York with those 34 fake felony convictions were put together and based on things that happened while Trump was president, which he has immunity during. You know, all these meltdowns that are I'm not going to play all of them for you. You know, I might play a couple so we can talk about them as the show goes on, but I'm not going to do endless montages of the meltdowns because I know everyone's playing those. So, a couple things about this. First off, all presidents have had immunity. This is not new. They act as if something's happened that's different. Presidents are now kings. They're dictators. They can do all this stuff. Presidents have always had immunity. Problem is, this president, Joe Biden, this is the first president who actually acted like a tyrant, like a dictator, and has had the leader of the political opposition arrested, jailed, mugshot, tried, convicted, just like Putin. So the outlaw here is Joe Biden. And, oh boy, him and Jill, they'll be talking about that immunity after January when Trump's back in office because he's doing all kinds of crime. Presidents have always had immunity. You can't let some local Black Panther prosecutor like Fannie Willis, who pays hundreds of thousands of dollars to a guy to have sex with her, bring charges and arrest a president when he's running for president again and bring down the country. I mean, that's crazy town. That's what the impeachment process is about. The impeachment. Yeah, I talk about this a lot, and I hate to be repetitive, but I got to on this. There's a system of justice for presidents. It's the impeachment process. The impeachment in the House acts as a grand jury. An impeachment is an indictment of a president for high crimes or misdemeanors. Then there is a trial in the Senate, presided over by the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. Now, I understand that this senile old drunk Nancy Pelosi, my goodness, did you see her? She had to have somebody help her walk to her car yesterday. It's not because of her age. I think she was drunk. I saw her on some TV interviews yesterday. She seemed completely intoxicated, Pelosi. Now, Pelosi and these others have used impeachment as just a political thing, but it's really a legal process for presidents and other federal officials like judges who do crime. For example, there was a federal judge in Miami who went on to be a congressman here from South Florida, Alcee Hastings. Alcee Hastings was a federal judge in Miami, just like Judge Cannon, with a big difference. He was a Democrat, black man, appointed by Jimmy Carter, and he took a bribe, and he got caught. And he was impeached and through the impeachment process and removed from the federal bench. Then he came to Broward County, ran for Congress, and spent the rest of his life in Congress. Between that time, he used to come in here on the show all the time. He'd fill in for Steve sometimes. We'd have him in as a guest. He was a nice guy for a corrupt federal judge. But that's the process. So, no, presidents have not been given some license to kill or do anything. That's just a bunch of nonsense. They just don't like Trump. So nothing new happened yesterday with the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court just held up what has been 200, well, not quite 50 years. It'll be 50 years soon, but about 250 years of the Constitution. That's it. Nothing new. Now, God help us if this corrupt, senile old coot wearing Depends, Joe Biden, and his mob wife, Jill Biden, get reelected, because then they're going to start trying to pack the Supreme Court, meaning add members of the Supreme Court. Because the Supreme Court is an outlaw court because they didn't get their way. Well, I'm sorry, it's not a kangaroo court. But no, nothing new came out of the Supreme Court yesterday. Presidents have always had immunity. If they didn't, they'd all be in jail by local corrupt petty officials like Fannie Willis and many others. So, you know, they act like something. Now, and they keep saying limited immunity, limited immunity. Well, yeah, limited to the time that they're president. If it's limited immunity and it doesn't cover any of these things, why are they having meltdowns? Right? They're having a lot of meltdowns. And then Joe Biden, who, did you see him on TV last night? He looked like they put him in blackface. They put that, you know, I'll tell you, when they did his makeup last night, they put like orange makeup on him. I guess the liberals are going to have to drop this orange man bad thing because they turned Biden orange last night. But they put makeup on Biden because he looked so pale and pasty. They thought they would put some makeup on him and make him look more lively. But did you notice about the makeup? They didn't just put makeup on his face and neck. They also, whoever did it was very smart. They also put makeup on his hands, which is very unusual. If you watch people on television using makeup, the only other person that I've seen put makeup on their hands is Jay Leno. Jay Leno, when he was doing The Tonight Show, used to put makeup on his hands because he talked with his hands a lot. But you watch television shows, the hands are always a lot paler than the face. So I don't know whose idea it was to put the makeup on the hands. So they got one person that's thinking over there because, you know. But he looked ridiculous. And when Biden came out last night for that little address and didn't take any questions and ran away scooting his feet because they, you know, afraid somebody to ask him a question or something and he'd be out of it again. Biden made it look like he's the leader of all this lawfare, didn't he? He made things worse. He made things a lot worse coming out yesterday. So yesterday was an incredible victory. President Trump has been given complete immunity for all this garbage, and all these cases are over. That's it. They're over. Sorry. You know, I'm sorry that the majority of the American people who vote like this guy and support him, but that's the way the country works. You think I was happy when Obama got elected and reelected? Hell no, I wasn't happy. Who was? People that voted for him, right? We lost. Obama won twice. We lost. That's the way it is. Get over it. We don't go, we didn't go around and arrest Obama. Obama never produced a birth certificate. Do you know that? When he finally produced something, because of Donald Trump, of course, he produced a color photocopy that he said was a photocopy of his birth certificate. I had to get my passport. I went to South America, almost 20 years ago, and I had to get my passport. And I couldn't find my birth certificate. My mother couldn't find my birth certificate. I had to send for my birth certificate out of state. I had to actually pay a guy to go to the local clerk's office in the county I was born in to go and do it in person. And to get my passport, I had to get a certified copy with the raised seal on the paper. The raised seal on the paper. Just get my passport. And Obama never produced something like that. Never. He produced a color photocopy of a document. It was a copy of a document that he said was his birth certificate with the raised seal. I'm not saying that he wasn't born in Hawaii. I'm not saying that. I do know that the people that lived next to his grandparents that he lived with said they never remember a black kid living there. Remember that? But what I'm telling you is this. Even though he never produced a birth certificate, okay, when he was up for re-election, we didn't go to court and arrest him and get mugshots of him or anything. We just sucked it up and wrote it out. And it was not a lot of fun. It was not a lot of fun, no. He socialized about 20% of the economy with Obamacare, collapsed the entire private health insurance industry, which has never recovered. We didn't arrest him. We didn't get mugshots. We just said, okay, we got to come back and win next time. And we did with Trump. This new thing that Democrats are doing where they're arresting their political opponents, getting mugshots of them, and then claiming they're the defenders of democracy, well, I'm sorry, that's not going to be the new normal. That's just the way it is. Obama was a bad guy, but he's pissed off at Biden right now. And Obama, from what I understand and what's been leaking out, Obama is working behind the scenes to bring Joe Biden down. That's right. So we're going to talk about that and a whole bunch more as the show goes on. But Donald Trump was given complete immunity by the Supreme Court. I shouldn't say he wasn't given complete immunity by the Supreme Court. The Constitution of the United States grants him immunity, and the Supreme Court yesterday just highlighted what the Constitution has in it. All right, we're going to take our first break of this Tuesday morning. It's 17 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. We'll be right back. These people are out of their minds.
This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
When it comes to dental work, there's no one better than Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. But don't just take my word for it. This is Richie the bus driver. He called in on the air to share his experience with Dr. Gupta. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Welcome, everyone.
I go 139 miles to this guy. I had a broken tooth. He fixed it my mouth that are a lot cheaper than anybody else, and he's excellent and no pain. I recommend this guy. To me, he's the best ever. So I want to get that out of the way.
Listen to Richie the Bus Driver. Go see Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633.
The Greater South Florida Chamber Business Expo Health Fair and City Festival happens Wednesday, July 10th from 9:30 to 2:30 at the South County Civic Center in Delray Beach. Get healthy, get educated, and have fun. Your friends from the True Oldies channel will be there from 11 to 1 with raffles, giveaways, and so much more. Come out and say hi. It's the Greater South Florida Chamber Business Expo Health Fair and City Festival. Wednesday, July 10th, 9:30 to 2:30 at the South County Civic Center, 16700 Jog Road in Delray Beach. Learn more, GreaterSouthFloridaChamber.com.
Brian Craig here. Our 6th annual cruise is coming up, and you're all invited. This time, we're sailing for 7 nights on Celebrity Cruise Line's newest ship, the Ascent, to Puerto Plata, St. Thomas, and St. Martin. We set sail March 30th. We have private shore excursions, private cocktail parties, group activities. We're going to go to the shows together and much, much more. Call in at Cruise and Travel Depot right now, 561-244-5779, 561-244-5779. And online at cruisingdepot.com to make your reservation and lock in our private group rate. Nothing comes close to Celebrity Cruises.
Hey, we need a timeout. Is your performance in the bedroom keeping you on the bench? Does fatigue have you feeling subpar? You gotta man up with Game Day Men's Health, where you can find high-quality, effective treatment programs, even if you're on the go. Call 561-355-5341. Testosterone therapy rejuvenates you with a renewed joy of life, with a free consultation and test as quick as 15 minutes. Treat your ED with Gaines Wave, non-invasive sound waves in your blood vessels. Proven by clinical research that it is safe and provides long-term results when you're in the bedroom. Consider HGH therapy to rev up your engine with HGH peptides, helping men fight fatigue and trim belly fat. A 100% bioidentical hormones facility, Game Day Men's Health will get you back in the game in no time. 561-355-5341. Visit our new location in Palm Beach Gardens on the corner of North Lake and North Military Trail. Their enjoyable man cave environment provides refreshments and flat-screen TVs, aided by expert licensed staff who specialize in male health and wellness. Nothing else compares. Call 561-355-5341 or online at GameDayMen'sHealth.com for more information. Don't sideline your well-being. Let Game Day Men's Health help you score big.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, 21 minutes after the hour. Carlos on hold standby. We're discussing the confirmation by the Supreme Court that President Trump, as all presidents, have complete immunity from prosecution, criminal prosecution, while they're in office. And you may have heard during the break the first recorded commercial for a new cruise that leaves March 30th on the Celebrity Ascent, the newest celebrity cruise ship. You know, I've been a little vague about the cruise because we were trying to lock some things in. One, our incredibly low group pricing. Okay, I was waiting for that to get locked in. And also, I've talked about having some stalkers on the last one, and there were a couple in particular that were really harassing me, and I wanted to take care of that, which I've done. So some of you might have been wondering what was going on with me on the last. It was a very surprise. I had a couple of weirdos that were really harassing me, but I've taken care of that for the future cruises, and I wanted to get everything locked down and settled before that, and including the special group pricing. So call in at Cruise and Travel Depot. We leave March 30th. We're going to Puerto Plata, St. Thomas, and St. Martin. I've been to St. Martin before, but I never got off the ship. So this time I'm gonna get off the ship in St. Martin. Give Ian a call, make your reservation, lock in our special group rate. We got a lot of activities planned, a lot of new things we've never done before. It's going to be exciting. 561-244-5779, 561-244-5779, and you can also go to his website, cruisingdepot.com, and get his number. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning. This is Richie.
Hey, Richie. What's up?
Good. by the way, St. Thomas is great for shopping for gold. You know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You promote all the time?
No. We promote. We buy gold at William Youngerman's, not anywhere else.
No, not like that. The jewelry.
Okay.
Here's the deal about this. I don't know if you read the whole opinion. Did you get a chance to read the whole opinion? Because this is beyond just immunity for President Trump.
Mm-hmm.
This is about the Republican Party. Clarence Thomas is a genius.
A pleasure boat, not an ocean
You know what
liner?
he put
Oh
in
my
there?
gosh, do you know what you're talking about?
It's not just the opinion. He put basically an order in there to those three judges to completely stop and halt everything until they could show why the Justice Department and Merrick Garland, overstepped the Constitution because it's an equal branch of government. They Merrick Garland appointed Smith illegally and knew it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So in other words,
that's right.
Powers was the Constitution, folks. It's not that they're a right-wing court. We have a Constitution. You cannot appoint he cannot appoint any prosecutor he wants. The special counsel has to. That's
correct. There's a special counsel law and statute. It's very complex, and he just bypassed it. You know, the reason that the reason that they did all this stuff, okay, they just don't get it because they live in this bubble of Trump hate. But they never counted on the incredible popularity of Trump. They thought, remember what Obama said? Oh, those right-wingers, they're going to get their Bibles and all that stuff. They think that because we're law and order people, that once they got that mugshot, because we support law and order, we were going to drop Trump. And they did not count on his incredible popularity. They thought that all of us would be calling on his conviction too. That's how out of touch with reality they are. So they did all these illegal things thinking they would get away with it.
Yeah, that was totally illegal. I mean,
all of it.
For this case, the judges are going to have. You're going to see the case in Palm Beach. She's going to say it's dismissed, and then the Justice Department has a choice, and she's going to dismiss because Jack Smith he's not illegal. An American citizen cannot go after the president.
Correct.
A private citizen, he can't. So this is the greatest thing since sliced bread, man, because it's beyond all of this crap. It's completely halted their lawfare. They're also, by the way, hold the Supreme Court with that decision with I forgot which one it was. The one, the one I'm talking about. I'm getting one of these Biden things. The one where all these like FAA and all these agencies that have put restrictions and put people and given rules, they can't do it anymore. They have blown up all this crap that the Democrats.
Well, it was what the Trump Supreme Court has done. I know they call them MAGA hat wearing justices and all that. Good. They've brought into check the police state, is what they've done. Yeah.
Freedom.
And I'll say this. Like I'll give you an example. I was talking about this on my podcast last night. George W. Bush. The reason he went into Iraq had nothing to do with weapons of mass destruction. Saddam, when President Clinton first became president, Bush 1, GW's father, visited Kuwait. He was very popular in Kuwait, and Saddam Hussein tried to assassinate him. Okay? And George Bush removed Saddam Hussein as a vendetta because he plotted to assassinate his father. Now, is that an official act? Is it criminal? It's completely criminal what he did. But Bush has immunity from prosecution, or he'd be locked up. We used to talk. The left, when Bush and Cheney were president and vice president, they wanted to try them in the World Court on war crimes in The Hague, and everybody said no, presidents have immunity. Yeah.
What the biggest thing they did, I'm telling you, was breaking up these agencies. In other words, you remember they told people you had to take the shot, the CDC or whatever the heck it is. That they lost their power. They can't tell the American people anything anymore. They don't have. They took all.
Yeah, I know, but you get into that. That's too much of gobbledygook. I mean, I want to stay focused on the immunity thing, not these other rulings that no one really understands unless they're in some law school.
Believe it or not, the American people yesterday got a lot of freedom back.
And by the way, the military, it doesn't, things don't apply to the military. When you enlist, we have a 100% volunteer force. When you volunteer for the military, you give up a lot of your civil rights, okay? And including medical rights and freedom of speech rights. So these things don't apply to the military. But the presidents have always had immunity. They just, President Trump is the first president all the way back to Washington who was not a part of the political establishment of the day. And they just can't have it, having somebody that they can't control.
Remember, you just said it. The rules for the military are totally different. You're guilty until proven innocent.
Yeah.
They're totally different. It's a military court, and they have their rules. And guess who not the general, not the head general. Who do you think's the head of the military? It's right in the Constitution. Mm-hmm. The commander-in-chief of the armed forces is the president of the United States. The rules don't apply. Our rules don't apply to him. I'm sorry.
Well, you can't have it that way. If these people were allowed to get away with what they're doing, part of the problem they did too is they have too many cases, right? They have like 5 or 6 cases. If they would have stuck to one case, it wouldn't have been so obvious what was going on, and a lot of people wouldn't have woken up to it, and they might have gotten away with it. But they did it so. Okay, we got Fanny, we got Chunkin. Okay, we got the documents. We got this corrupt Colombian judge, right, in New York. We got the property case. They did it too many times, and a lot of people were red-pilled and say, "Wait a minute, what's going on here?"
They overreach everything they do. They're completely.
Well,
everything that they have done, they're accusing the.
See, the liberals. The reason liberals always lose is because they have no boundaries. They're like terrorists. You give them an inch, they take a mile, and then they get that mile, they want another mile. They never settle for anything.
Quit. They're not going to quit.
No, but they're done. This was the Supreme Court yesterday gave President Trump complete immunity from any of these criminal prosecutions from from evidence or anything from when he was president. That's it.
And he decapitated Jack Smith, which is the greatest thing in the world.
Jack Smith is a lunatic.
Merrick Garland's in a lot of trouble. After this is all over, he's subject to jail time, believe it or not.
Yeah, along with they can put him and Mayorkas as cellmates. But the thing, I'm serious. The thing about this, well, I'm really late for the break, Richie. I got to run. But thanks for the call. I'll tell you what I was going to say after the break. If you're on hold, stand by. Back after this.
Making morning radio great again.
I think you're going to really love it.
It's the Steve Kane Show.
Be right back, guys.
The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning. From the all-year cooling weather center, South Florida's #1 choice for same-day AC service and installation. Here's your oldies forecast. And now, a true oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Not that drive early this Tuesday morning if you're heading to Boca, Delray Beach, Wilkerson to Palm Beach Gardens. We're coming in incident-free on the Turnpike 95 Military Trail, also on 441. But there is some construction to look out for, like on South Ocean Boulevard approaching Lake Avenue. This report is sponsored by KFC. Introducing KFC's $10 Tuesday. Get 8 hot and juicy drones and fries for just $10. Taste it for yourself every Tuesday only at KFC. It's favorably good. Prices and participation vary. Tax, tips, and fees extra. That's traffic. I'm Claudia Fernandez.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. And 4th of July from PBKC, we are open all week long. Come out to the poker room with 65 tables, action, cash games, daily high hands, big fat beat jackpots, and exciting tournaments. Bet small and win big with table games like Ultimate Texas Hold'em or 3-card poker. Just a $5 minimum all day, every day. Exciting poker and table game action.
If you're on hold, hang in there, guys. Phones are very, very busy.
A complexes and churches with great success, and every one of those customers are like family. We have installed all kinds of roofs from asphalt shingles, clay, and concrete tile, standing metal seam, slate tile, and flat roof systems. So come on and let our family take care of your family. Call me on my cell at 954-604-4602 or find us on the web at laportacontracting.com. The number again is 954-604-4602.
Hi, this is Maureen Cohen from Nutrition World Palm Beach Gardens. We're so excited to be celebrating 50 years here in South Florida. The Cohen family started their first health food store in 1972, and ever since have been one of the largest locally owned, family-run health food stores in the area. We carry thousands of supplements like vitamins, minerals, herbs, homeopathics, diet and fitness, and so much more. All your favorite top-quality brands. We also have tons of natural foods like gluten-free, paleo, and organic, as well as health and beauty aids, pet foods, and more. Visit Vanessa, Trish, Denson, Scott, and Bruce. They're here 7 days a week for all your family's natural health needs. So stop by Nutrition World at the northeast corner of PGA Boulevard and Prosperity Farms Road in the Carmines Market Plaza by the Prosperity entrance. You can call us or text us anytime at 561-626-4377. That's 626-4377. Or check out our website at nutritionworld.com. Come see us 7 days a week at Nutrition World, Palm Beach Gardens.
Do you have questions about retirement? Hi, it's Kathy Green, co-host of the Jupiter Joe Money Show. Tune in Monday, Wednesday, Thursday at 6 p.m. and Saturday mornings at 7:30 a.m.
You know, one of our listeners messaged me. They had bought this incredible cross from Mike Lindell's My Store, and there's a humongous discount on it with our promo code Kane. I'm going to pin the link. This is really beautiful. You know, you can use our promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, in the My Store too. But click that link and look at that beautiful copper cross. Yeah, a listener had gotten that and sent it to me. It is really cool. Huge discount with the promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. All right, we'll be back right after this.
Be a part of history? Fort Lauderdale United FC is bringing women's professional soccer here. For more information, visit FTL.
It's a beautiful cross. My goodness.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 47 years on the air.
All right, welcome back, one and all. 36 minutes after the hour, I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Our number, 1-888-465-2631. Call us on hold, stand by. So what we're doing, we're talking about what happened here. President Trump was not given immunity by the Supreme Court. Okay, even I said that at the top. That's not true. All presidents have had immunity. The Supreme Court just reminded these lawfare monsters of it. All right? Let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Ben from Pompano.
Hey, Ben.
Hey, so right now is a real dangerous moment because if anyone was on Twitter yesterday, the left is absolutely melting down. Every one of their devised plans that they had in the works for, months, years now, is completely falling apart. And now what they're trying to do, I think they're more determined than ever to take out the Supreme Court. They're calling for packing it, calling for impeaching them. These people have no limiting principles. As you said, they have no boundaries. So right now, it's been a wild last few days between the absolute catastrophe and the Trump victory in the debate to the rulings in the court that are going his way. The public is getting more and more red pilled. There's people like Steve Bannon go to jail. They're losing their legitimacy. No one takes them seriously anymore. Everyone questions the fact that they're arresting people. So right now, they are so desperate. And what they're going to do is, it's going to be.
Well, no, there's big trouble going on here. Okay, for the Bidens. That CNN, it started publicly with the CNN debate. CNN is the CIA, guys. I've been telling you this for years. Dana Bash is CIA, okay? And that was a coup of Biden. Now, and I was talking yesterday about how on Friday, Biden had a face-to-face meeting with Obama. Obama told him to drop out. He told Obama to get out, and he's running. And now it's being reported that Obama is working behind the scenes to undermine Biden. So things are falling apart for them. They're not organized enough to mount any opposition to anything. The Democrat efforts are. Why do you think Newsom's going to New Hampshire to campaign? All of a sudden, come on.
Well, I don't know. They still have a lot of the institutional power, even though they're losing right now. So I think that, between the intel agencies, between the media, which are becoming less and less, relevant because no one really cares, and between the big tech companies and, academia and Hollywood, I still think they can marshal the institutional powers they have to, do something absolutely wild and maybe a false flag event,
No, I'll tell you. No, the Democrat machine is divided right now, and the majority of it is on the Obama side, going after Biden. And you may say, well, Biden and Garland, they control the government. That's true, but everything they're doing is illegal. For them to do what it is they want to do, they have to have people under them willing to break the law, like Jack Smith has done. And as they're being deposed right now by their own people and Trump. So people underneath them are less likely to go out and take part in this illegal stuff like the lawfare, because a new sheriff's coming to town, and the Obama Democrat wing of the party are after Biden too. So no, they're very weakened right now.
Look at people go, no, but this is what I mean. Yes, they are weakened, but in that weakened state, they're going to lash out. Look what people like AOC, they're coming up with wild ideas, like assassinating Trump.
No. By the way, I don't want any talk like that today on the show. I want no talk about no. But I don't want anybody quoting people about it either. Okay. AOC's talking about impeaching the justices because she didn't get the. I mean, do you think we liked it that Roe v. Wade was held up for 50 years by different courts? No.
Years.
Yeah.
We simply return to the Constitution, and they're losing their mind. Because if we were to live by the Constitution, communists can't get their way when under a constitutional republic like the one we have, which is why they're always trying to destroy it. And to me, that's exactly what these people do. They always try to destroy, and they're not just going to rein it in and be like, oh, things aren't going our way. They double down, triple down, quadruple down until they destroy. That's why I don't think they're going to rein it in, because they see their shit going down. They're going to get crazier and crazier.
People now, it is very possible. Mershon is insane, plus he took all the money. So Mershon next week could give Trump the maximum penalty of jail time. He could do it. I wouldn't put it past that guy.
Yeah.
I'm serious. He very well could do it. But it won't, but when the appeals court will look at the Supreme Court ruling and toss it. But yeah, Mershon could give him the maximum sentence on each count. He could get 24 years. He could.
That's what I'm saying. They are losing, but in this state of loss, they are going to, it's like a Hail Mary. They're going to do these, they're not rational, logical people. They're not like Republicans who'd be like, oh, we're losing, we better appease this. If they don't get their way, they throw an absolute fit, and that's what I'm worried about. But I'm still rejoicing in the absolute victorious week we're having. It just keeps getting better and better.
Well, they got a little bit of a break because 4th of July is on Thursday. So this entire week, the federal government and the courts are shut down. So they got a break because the courts are closed all week. Basically, it's next to impossible. I mean, the judges could make rulings, but they're not. They're gonna slow it down. Then next week we've got the sentencing. Then we've got the convention. this is a chaotic week. This is one of the reasons I'm not, I was going to go visit my daughter in California. There's too much news going on. I can't take a Friday or a Monday off right now. There's too much, the whole world's collapsing.
Oh my God! For politicos, for people who do this for a living and follow it, I mean, this is I don't know. It's like the Super Bowl. This is the craziest period.
I don't know if people realize it, because we're living through. It's like the boiling the frog. And we've been living through this lawfare against Trump for so long. I don't think people appreciate the historical significance of this time. Many books will be written about the times we're living through right now.
Right. No, 100%. If the communists don't get their way, like, people will look back on events like we're living through right now the same way we read about events when we were in school.
By the way, did you see Biden on TV last night?
I didn't see it, but I caught all the highlight reel from.
What did they put him in blackface? What was it? Was it in blackface he was in? And why do they keep
younger?
Why do they keep putting like notes in parentheses on his teleprompter? They know he reads them out loud. End of quote. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, 4 minutes. What was it? The Senator Coons came up and said, you should give a presser for 2 hours, a la Trump, to show the public how bigger he is.
Mm-hmm.
This guy is a joke. This guy, he can't. The thing is, you can't fight dementia. It's not like cancer. It's not like, oh, we're going to fight and beat this thing. Like, there's not going to be any way to hide it. And as Tucker Carlson noted, they didn't want his family, except Jill, didn't want him to run in 2019 because the dementia was so bad. And this guy, the thing that's great about them when they're losing is they flail. And in that flailing, they actually dig themselves deeper into the hole. They're
in trouble.
Comes on for 4 minutes. Yeah, right. Joe comes on. No one respects him anymore. It's like, dude, are you just going to watch over the fact that we saw you have a dementia episode on Thursday?
Well, that comment last night, which was really he was stupid to make, was try to make it look like he's with it. He came in at night, so the sundown thing. And then he read the parentheses out loud, end of quote, and then he scooted away like a great grandpa that's like 98 years old running. It made him look worse.
Yeah, of what he's doing right now. When he does the loan bailouts, when he tries to act tough on immigration, everything he's doing is so transparent in that it's simply a ploy to convince people. But in doing so, people see right through it.
Absolutely.
These games anymore.
All right, I gotta run for a break, but great call. Thanks so much. If you're on hold, stand by. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. President Trump, of course, has immunity, as all presidents do, and the Supreme Court just reminded the world of that yesterday. That's what we're talking about. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
Are you looking for a reliable and user-friendly home security system that also offers home automation features? Look no further than Sloman Shield. This comprehensive system integrates home security and automation, giving you control over your home at your fingertips. With Sloman's, you'll enjoy the that comes with
great stuff, guys.
And monitored 24/7. As a special offer, Sloman's is providing a free system and installation when you sign up for their affordable Central Station monitoring. The package includes a color LED touchscreen keypad, 10 contacts, motion detector, cellular communication with backup battery, and professional installation. For a limited time, Sloman's will also throw in video surveillance capabilities, including the choice of an outdoor or indoor video camera. With this feature, you can view your home from your smartphone or tablet, receive notifications when someone enters or exits your home, and review any unusual activity.
Now, of course, guys, you can get your Mighty Mega Lion. Every time you buy a Mighty Mega Lion, a portion is donated to the Trump re-election campaign or to yours. If you're watching live, I just pinned the link to the top of the chat, MightyMegaLion.com. There's also a link in the description of the video, or you can just go to the website, MightyMegaLion.com. It's a great gift for yourself or any MAGA patriot that you know. MightyMagaLion.com, the only Trump-inspired merchandise wearing the MAGA hat. That's right. And available exclusively through me. You can get this nowhere else. MightyMagaLion.com. If you order more than one, you get a discount. And they're very well made. We have these custom made. They're very well made. This guy, I've been dragging him around everywhere. I bring him to and from the radio station every day. I took him out to California. I took him on the cruise. And look, he looks like the day he arrived. They're very, very well made. We made sure of that. MightyMagaLion.com. Again, the link is pinned to the top of the live chat. There's also a link in the description of the video. Order yours. Remember, a portion of each sale is donated to the Trump campaign. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Beach Life. Yeah, that's a good suggestion, Mark. If you want to donate them, you're welcome to buy some and donate them. It's very generous of you to give away my money. I had to pay to have these custom made. Jethro is very generous with other people's money.
Justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All righty, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show. The Supreme Court reminded everyone yesterday that presidents have total immunity from prosecution while they're president. Isn't that something? Yeah, I know. They've all had it. It's nothing new. Now, if you or someone you know is suffering from neuropathy, take them or yourself to Lighthouse Medical Center. You know, their treatment for neuropathy works. I've seen it work in many of our listeners and in Steve. I've had many listeners call me and come up to me at appearances. We had a listener on the cruise. There was somebody at Wings Plus when we were there a while back that they're able to function again. They got their life back because of Lighthouse Medical ridding them of all their neuropathy symptoms. And they're pretty bad. Numbness, pain, burning, tingling in the hands and feet, muscle weakness, loss of balance, muscle twitching, dizziness and falling down, the feeling of pins and needles in the hands and feet. Some have no feeling at all. Now, no matter where you're located in America, Lighthouse Medical can help you with your neuropathy, by the way. When you call, I'm going to give you the number and their website. Make sure you mention that you heard about them on the radio, because then you can take advantage of their no-charge consultation. The number is 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. That's 754-222-6642. And online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com. All right. Let's go back to our phones. We're talking about the presidential immunity. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's Mike from Louisiana.
Hey.
You know, I went back and I watched that when Pelosi, before the ruling came down, when she appeared on Jen Psaki's show.
Oh, yeah, when she was drunk. That her drunken appearance with Psaki. I think she was, I don't know if she was drinking Jen Psaki's gin or Psaki or mixing gin with Psaki while she was talking to Jen Psaki, but she was hammered.
Yeah, off her rocker drunk, you know. That's. I mean, look, this is a woman that is in her lucid time. She's smart. She's evil. She's a Democrat, but she's smart. She's tough and all that stuff. But she's a lush. You know, that's what she.
Well, listen, if you were married to a man, and when you were out of town, he got in car accidents with strange people in the middle of the night in his car, or men were coming to the house at night and he was answering the door in his silk underwear, you'd be drinking too, like Pelosi.
You'd be drinking too. and that's the thing. These people are the same people that sent these people over to the Supreme Court Justice's house after Roe got overturned.
That's right. You know, I like how in one breath, whatever the Supreme Court says is written in stone, but they get like Roe v. Wade, they get a ruling they don't like, and all of a sudden they got to impeach the justices.
And that's the thing. There's not It's not hypocrisy. It's hierarchy. They're in power and you're not. It's their country and you're just living in it.
That's right. You know, Nancy Pelosi is an old lady. You know, I know a lot of people have been speculating on what she drinks. I heard somebody said Grey Goose in the chat room, and I heard someone on television talking about Goldschlager. Oh my goodness, or Jägermeister. And she's an old lady. What was like the popular drink that Luscious drank like in the 60s and 70s? I would imagine she's probably drinks like old-fashioned dry martinis or something. You know, I can't imagine what did people drink like in the 60s?
When she was young, the Rat Pack was at the heights, right?
Correct.
And that's the dry martinis and all that stuff.
Yeah, she drinks that old time stuff. You know, it's like me. I'm always trying to find a Zima, right? It's like the music. You listen to the music when you grow up. You listen to music you listen to in high school. You know, same kind of thing goes for alcohol. You know, there's a photograph of Nancy Pelosi with President Kennedy while he was president, and she was very young. She wasn't bad looking in it, but, you know, I haven't seen the picture in a while.
That's the thing. And look, these people, they don't think through things, you know. And with this, particularly with this thing, if the Supreme Court had went the other way on it, right, what would have happened? Trump gets in. He can go after Obama for killing that.
Mm-hmm. The one that the Taliban was holding hostage, the girl that he killed, that Obama killed her. He knowingly killed her.
Yep. The Al-Awlaki guy.
Mm-hmm.
He was in. Yeah. I mean, that's what they don't think through when they say these things.
Yep, that's right. All right, Mike, take care. Great call. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
George, Florida.
Hey, George.
God. Hey, thank God for the Supreme Court decision yesterday. That was a great day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have I thought of this, a hypothetical, strictly hypothetical.
I hope it's better than your other hypotheticals, because your other ones have been just uninteresting and not really worthy of airtime. But I'll give you a go.
Stuff you're not.
No, you're just. I'm afraid of boring the audience, and you really don't contribute.
I'm one of your best callers.
What are you, high? No, you're not. You're not one of the best callers. You're not even close. You're one of the worst callers.
Survey. No, I'm one of the best.
Who would I if I did a survey? Who would I survey?
You're very super smart caller.
I don't even know your name. I don't even know what your name is. You think the audience knows you? I don't even know your name.
I've had a lot of good.
George.
Anything? You've never said anything bad about my call.
No, I do remember I don't remember your name. I do now, George. I remember your voice because you sound like Lurch. But no, you. You. All right, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. You're one of the best callers. Dazzle me.
Yes, sir. Okay, here's the question. If Biden, great nickname. I don't know if you've heard that. I don't know if I'm the one. Biden. I'm going to call him up till today anyway. If he were to cause World War III, even though I believe Trump will win the election, Trump definitely has to win. Wouldn't that be one of the only things that would keep Biden in? Trump could not take office if Biden orchestrated a fake, say, attack one of the NATO countries.
Okay, so that's a comment. Okay, now, okay, so you just said something. Now, can you say the thing that's going to dazzle me and make people think you're one of the best callers?
Yeah, just by bringing.
Oh, that was it. That was it. You think Are you pulling my leg? Are you like crank calling me? You really think? Hold on a second. Slow down.
You're making a personal attack.
Yes, on you.
I'm a Trump supporter. This is why most MAGA people do not call your show. You do realize that.
Well, if most that's 100 million people. We can't have 100 million people calling. But the reason I ask if you're pranking me, you think that thing you just said about World War III is so brilliant that it makes you one of the best callers to the program?
What's your answer? It's impossible.
I'm not gonna dignify your boring points with a response. Hey, thanks for the call, though. Thank you for the call. I do appreciate the call, and it was an interesting call because mocking you made it interesting. Oh my goodness! All right, 1 hour down, 2 to go. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. Celebrating 47 years on the radio. Our number's toll free, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. You know, some people say, well, why are you so rude to that guy, but then you give like Jay from Jersey more time? Well, I'm rude to Jay from Jersey too, but Jay from Jersey at least gives something interesting to do. That guy, there's not even any material to work with that guy. I mean, he's terminally boring. He's like Joyce Kaufman on the air. Terminally boring. Oh, you know what he reminds me of on the air, really? His calls? Mark Scheinbaum. Those of you that remember Mark Scheinbaum. But I can't imagine anybody remembers Mark Scheinbaum. He was the one that would hypnotize people on the air. All right, we'll be right back after this.
WSFS 104.3 HD3 Miramar. WIRK 103.1 HD3 Indiantown. And heard in Broward on 96.9 FM. Boca Raton on 95.3 FM. West Palm Beach on 95.9 FM. And in Martin County on 106.9 FM. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Your home for the Steve Kane Show. From the All-Year Cooling Weather Center, South Florida's #1 choice for same-day AC service and installation. Here's your oldies forecast.
Good morning from the True Oldies Channel Weather Center. I'm Mike Balsamo. Plenty of clouds hanging out over your head this morning. We've got some light chances of rain that are increasing as we get closer to noon. Going to top out on the feels like close to 100 later today.
And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Not a bad drive early this Tuesday morning. If you're heading to Boca, Delray Beach, Wellington to Palm Beach Gardens, we're coming in incident-free on the Turnpike 95 Military Trail. Also on
Art Bell
there is some construction
had a very, although there was a very bizarre happening with his son that happened many, many years ago. And then he had a very bizarre ending. Art Bell pulled a stunt on the air once that was the most fake thing I've ever heard somebody on the radio try to pull off, and it was so insulting what Art Bell did. And he did this fake thing that he tried to pass off as real, which I'll tell you about if you remind me at the bottom of the hour break. Remind me, I'll tell you. And it showed me that he didn't believe in any of that crap that he talked about.
140 new HD TVs, big screens, exceptional dining, and full bar. PBKC is your entertainment.
But if you remind me at the bottom of the hour, I'll tell you. You may remember the call, because it was a well-known call to Art Bell's show.
From 6 to 6:30 a.m., we will read the Bible, pray, and offer blessings to all who listen in the name of our Lord and Savior. Moments of Scripture every Sunday at 6 a.m.
When you need lab work, don't waste hours and hours waiting at the doctor's office or one of those big labs. Go to any lab test now in Boca and any lab test now at Coral Springs. Their prices are guaranteed to be the lowest you'll find anywhere. No appointment, doctor's order, or prescription is needed, and you're in and out in 15 minutes or less. They offer every lab and blood work your doctor could order. They even have drug testing and STD testing. Take control of your health care and visit any lab test now of Boca and any lab test now of Coral Springs. There's lots of any lab test nows around, but these are the only two advertising on our radio station. So don't use the rest. Only go to any lab test now of Boca and any lab test now of Coral Springs. And make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All righty, welcome back, one and all. If you're on hold, stand by. I don't watch cable news. If it wasn't for Steve, you'd probably hardly ever hear me mention cable news, okay? I watch it just a little bit more than I watch The View, and I never watch The View. In fact, with The View, if you ever hear me play like a sound clip of The View, I didn't watch it. I just heard about it or saw it online and went and pulled the audio. I mean, who would watch that garbage, right? But when there's breaking news going on, like we're dealing with now, I do watch cable news. And I was flipping yesterday through Fox and CNN. And I caught a little bit of Cavuto, who's lost a lot of weight. Have you noticed? Lost a lot of weight. He's got all the skin hanging off. And he had Barr on. I cannot stand Neil Cavuto. I've never liked Neil Cavuto. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. He's the one on Fox who started this boring monologue at the end of the show. I don't know, do they still do that? He started this thing when Fox was kind of new. He would do like a 2-minute monologue telling you his take on everything, and it was, And he's one of those smile talkers. He'll say something, Cavuto, on the air, and then he'll stop, smile, and he's very impressed with himself, and you, the viewer, are supposed to just absorb all the brilliance that came out of him. It's very bizarre. But what he did that forever burned me on Neil Cavuto is when he cut President Trump off television. It was right after January 6th. President Trump was speaking to the American people during a time of crisis. President Trump came on, and Cavuto cut away and said, the President of the United States is about to speak. We have to cut away. He may incite violence. And I thought, you petty, fat something. That was it. The arrogance of that. The arrogance of that. So yesterday, he had Barr on. And Bill Barr is a monster. I know people like to trot him around and say, well, he was Trump's, he was his attorney general there at the end. Trump reluctantly chose him to be his attorney general. Robert Mueller's investigation that his first attorney general set up, that creep, was going nowhere. Bill Barr, who was mentally as checked out as Biden almost, found nothing. It went on and on and on. He spent tens of millions of dollars, and he's part of the deep state. He went to high school at the boarding school with John Kerry, Robert Mueller. So a very connected guy, one of the deep state leaders. And they made a deal. Bring Barr in, Bill Barr, who personal friends with Robert Mueller. They went to each other's children's weddings, okay, very close. And Barr came in, who was Attorney General for Bush 1, came in to get Robert Mueller off the hook, okay? That's why. It was just, and he's a monster. Can't stand this guy. And so he got these Trump haters on yesterday. And, of course, the lawfare continues against the great Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon is in prison. And you know what he's in prison for? Because he worked for Trump. That's why he's in prison. Remember what, if you're on hold, stand by, what Peter Strzok said, right? Peter Strzok and his girlfriend, Lisa Page, Lisa Page told Peter Strzok, I picked up a copy of All the President's Men. This is our guidebook. So what they've been trying to do is put as many people around Trump in jail, so guilt by association, right? All the President's Men are in prison. He's a crook too. And it's really a sad thing that Bannon's in prison. Bannon doesn't seem to mind it. I guess he likes to be martyred, but it's scary. So anyway, these two Trump haters are on Fox yesterday. Neil Cavuto, who's lost a lot of weight, but he's still wearing the fat suits. The suits don't fit him. He's sitting there with Barr, and they're talking about Bannon and others. And listen. Oh, well, and I just lost the internet. After the dramatic build-up, I just lost the internet connection. Let me refresh the page. I'm not going to do the dramatic build-up. I'll just try to kill some time. Okay, let's see.
Bannon says I'm the first to go to prison. I'm under President Trump. I don't lose any sleep.
Okay, let me start it over again. Okay, we got it now.
Bannon says I'm the first to go to prison under President Trump. I don't lose any sleep over it. I'm not worried about that.
I think he's in prison right now himself. Let me ask you, Bill, if you...
See, I know, they're sickos. See, this is what you have in Washington, even though Cavuto's in New York. It's the same thing. You have this Trump derangement syndrome bubble that they're all in. And everyone around them, Cavuto, Barr, and all these other people hate Trump, so they assume everybody hates Trump. And he thinks it's funny. You know, Bill Barr will tell you he's dedicated his entire life to the law, to justice, to the system of justice, to our legal system. And he's sitting around laughing with this overeater about the imprisonment of a guy who's only in prison because he worked for Donald Trump. That's not something to laugh about. It's pretty disgusting, sad, and frightening. You're on the air. Oh, yes, Doug.
Okay. The first thing I'd like to know is if President Biden goes out and says his speech yesterday, shouldn't President Trump have the right to have right after him? He's using the president's office to...
For politics? Oh, you mean equal time?
Yeah, equal time.
Absolutely.
There he is. It's one thing if he just got up and said, well, I don't agree with immunity, blah, 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 but now he's bringing down President Trump. President Trump should have been right after him. So, well, here's my take on it, but they didn't allow it.
No, I think you're right. President Trump is owed equal time on all the news outlets at 7:45 tonight.
These damn Democrats, if it's a sunny day out there, say it's raining, they just don't care. They just will change whatever's really going on. They'll lie, and they lie, and I guess they always got away with it, but now the people got smarter, and they're seeing right through them. These people, they know that immunity was always been around for all presidents, but yet they make it like it's all President Trump is getting it to get away with crimes.
Yeah.
These people
well, it's scary. When that political opposition leader died in the Gulag a few months back in Russia, they made such a big deal that, Putin puts his political opposition in prison. Well, isn't that what Biden's been doing? I mean, Peter Navarro and Bannon, right now, both are in prisons. Different prisons, but they're both in prison. They've arrested Donald Trump. They got a mugshot. A lot of Trump's lawyers and others have been arrested, mugshots. I mean, come on. That is what's going on here in this country. So how can I be worried about what Putin's doing when the government in this country is doing the things that they're attacking Putin for doing?
It's unbelievable. Somebody told me this a couple of years ago. I said, no, the American justice system is not that bad. But man, it got really bad under the Democrats. These people just don't care. They just want what they want, and they don't care. It doesn't matter.
That's correct.
It's kind of happening, when you have a corrupt cop who says, "I'm the law." No, you have to follow the law. No, I'm the law. This is the kind of attitude they have.
And did you see Biden last night live?
Yeah, unfortunately.
I mean, he was out of it. The one thing he can get through a few minutes on is talking about Trump and democracy in January 6th. That's something he can go with. He doesn't usually have a problem with that. But Donald Trump did not order people to go. He said the opposite. He said peacefully demonstrate. He said peacefully.
They always like to leave that out. I'm telling you, I've never seen... If somebody gave a script about what is going on now, you said, get out of here, it's ridiculous. But yeah, here we are.
Mm-hmm. All right, appreciate the call, Doug. And, I know some people are trying to say it's over. Biden's won. He can't step down. I mean, they can't get rid of him unless he steps down. None of this is true. There's a big fight going on. In fact, Tucker... posted on Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it, last night. Tucker posted yesterday this, okay? And I'm just going to read you what Tucker said. All this nonsense you read about how only Biden can make the decision to leave is just so absurd. This is Tucker Carlson. That's not how the Democratic Party works. No individual is more important than the collective. That's the whole point of the party. And in Biden's specific case, he's got no constituency in Washington. Yes, Ron Klain and 85-year-old Ted Kaufman benefit directly from his presidency, but it's a small group. The rest of the city has no loyalty to Biden. They don't care about him. They've never taken him seriously. Any president works for them as long as he's a Democrat. It's never personal with these people because the individual doesn't matter. End of quote. Now, I'm doing my Biden imitation. And Tucker is right about that. And proof of that is what happened yesterday with Fake Tapper on CNN. Fake Tapper was on CNN, and let me play this for you. You may have seen this.
I think it is easy to settle this right now by President Biden going to the Brady Press Center, the press file in the White House, and doing a 2-hour press conference. Everybody would cover it live. Networks probably would cover it live. He'd answer all these questions. It's not a crazy thing to expect a president to do. And the fact is, you know that. The campaign knows that. The White House knows that. That's how you settle this. You just put him in front of reporters, and he handles himself with acuity, aplomb. We all see it was just a fluke. Oh, my God, I can't believe it happened. And we move on. The fact that you haven't done that says quite a bit to me.
Okay. So that's Jake Tapper yesterday on CNN. So for all these people out there who say, well, it's over, Biden says he's not leaving, if that were true, why is Jake Tapper on CNN still going after him, demanding this 2-hour press conference? Not only that, it's not just Fake Tapper, it's all of CNN. I watched a lot of CNN through this coverage yesterday, leading up to, I had CNN on because I was waiting for Biden to come out. And I also wanted to see what everybody was saying about the ruling. But CNN is 100% working to bring Biden down and replace him. Gavin Newsom's in New Hampshire. The cover story is he's campaigning for Biden. Do you really believe that Gavin Newsom's campaigning for Biden, or is he campaigning for himself? Now, that doesn't mean that he's going to walk in and get the nomination and that Biden's not going to get the nomination, but there is a move being made. If Gavin Newsom's doing that, that means Pelosi's working against Biden. We know Obama is. He insulted Obama, and word has come out that he is working against Biden. Donors are dropping their support of Biden, and CNN has they've changed formats. Instead of being a 24-hour Trump-hating network, they're now a 24-hour replace Biden network. These things are not happening because they think it's over and Biden's securely going to get the nomination, or these things wouldn't be happening. All right, we're going to take our first break of the second hour. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian Craig. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. Back after this.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
The Greater South Florida Chamber Business Expo Health Fair and City Festival happens Wednesday, July 10th from 9:30 to 2:30 at the South County Civic Center in Delray Beach. Get healthy, get educated, and have fun. Your friends from the True Oldies channel will be there from 11 to 1 with raffles, giveaways, and so much more. Come out and say hi. It's the Greater South Florida Chamber Business Expo Health Fair and City Festival. Wednesday, July 10th, 9:30 to 2:30 at the South County Civic Center, 16700 Jog Road in Delray Beach. Learn more at GreaterSouthFloridaChamber.com.
Are you living your best life? Are you feeling the way you know you should be? This is John, CFO at Lighthouse Medical Center. Our hormone optimization therapy programs have helped so many people get back to feeling the way they did in their 20s. They're full of energy after a long day, reduced their risk of heart disease, sexual vigor and excitement are great, sleeping the way they should without disturbances, and reducing their symptoms of aging. Our all-natural hormone optimization therapy is precise, easy, and effective from day one. Office visits are usually less than 5 times per year, and the cost is only $150 per month for most patients. Let our medical team get you optimized and living your best life. Our family medical practice has been serving South Florida for over 71 years. Let us show you what personalized medical care and being treated like family feels like. Call us at 754-222-6642.
When I get back, I got to share the message about Mike Lindell. I put the link. I'm going to pin the link right now to the new mattress topper. I'm going to talk about the deal when I get back.
Attention seniors, are you not happy with your current Medicare plan? If not, give Debbie at I Will Advisors a call. 954-753-8080. That's 954-753-8080. There are 5-star rated plans that you can enroll in the middle of the year. That's right, you don't have to wait for open enrollment. Debbie and her family have been taking care of Steve Kane Show listeners since 1993. Debbie even handles Steve Kane's Medicare. So if you're not happy with your current Medicare plan, give Debbie a call right now and go over the options. 954-753-8080. Debbie can help you no matter where you're located in the state of Florida. 954-753-8080. And online, iwilladvisors.com.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I was sending someone a text. That's why we had a little extra music. I was sending Al Knight, our Saturday weekend guy, a text message during the break. Okay, now I want to tell you, Steve and I are going to be here live on the 4th of July and the 5th of July. That's right. And actually on the 4th of July, which we were going to take off, but we are going to be here live, is brought to you by MyPillow. Mike Lindell and MyPillow called and asked if they could sponsor our 4th of July show, and we were going to be off, but since they're going to sponsor, we're going to be here live with you guys on the 4th of July. And, of course, you can use our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, on all the specials at MyPillow.com. But there's a brand new mattress topper called the My Mattress Topper. I've been sleeping on a MyPillow mattress topper for years now. It will change the way you sleep. If you think you've gotten a good night's sleep, you have not until you sleep on a MyPillow mattress topper. This new MyPillow mattress topper comes in with a very great deal. It also comes in every mattress size there is. Twin, Twin XL, Full, Queen, RV Queen, King, California King, and Split King. And here's the incredible deal. First, no matter which mattress topper you buy, with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, $100 off. Great deal. I have to make sure I get them all because there's a bunch of them. So you get $100 off with our promo code KANE at checkout. You get a free set of MyPillow sheets. You get to pick out the color and the pattern and all that too. So you get $100 off, free set of MyPillow sheets, a 60-day money-back guarantee, a 10-year warranty, and free shipping with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. So that's a lot. You're getting a lot. Mike Lindell's practically giving them to you. So go to MyPillow.com, order your new MyPillow My Mattress Topper. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879, 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. All right, so Gavin Newsom's gone to New Hampshire. They're saying to campaign for Biden. I think he's going to campaign for himself, okay? And he's undercover. But a new poll just came out, and Robert Kennedy apparently is on the ballot in New Hampshire. So it's a three-way race, and Trump is in first place. He's beating Joe Biden and Kennedy. He's in first place. A Republican has not won New Hampshire in 24 years. Okay? In 24 years. Oh, by the way, people keep telling me, on a personal note, you're not the only person that takes screenless calls. Art Bell did it. Art Bell wasn't doing a confrontational show, okay? He was talking about space aliens and Bigfoot, none of which he believed were true, even though he pretended to on the air. So when you're doing a friendly lifestyle show, it's taking screenless calls is different than when you have confrontational topics like we do. It's not the same thing, people. I'm sorry. I'm not a big fan of Art Bell because he pulled a stunt on the air that showed he didn't believe in anything he said on the air. It was pretty bad, which I don't know if I'll get into that, but I don't want to get sidetracked. But anyway, back to this thing with Trump being in first place in New Hampshire. First time a Republican hasn't won in 24 years, they're reporting. That's crazy. That's how bad this is. I was talking to a caller in the first hour, with this great Supreme Court ruling acknowledging that President Trump has complete and total immunity. Don't let them think he doesn't. He has complete and total immunity on anything in the 4 years that he was president. Presidents are not under the regular system of justice. That's what the impeachment process is for. The Congress can hold them accountable and do all kinds of things to them and other federal officials. That's what the impeachment process is about. But they went overboard, starting with these civil cases, the E. Jean Carroll case, the property value case, just absurd. And then these criminal cases, the New York case with Stormy Daniels, the documents case, and then the January 6th case. The Justice Department said that Trump had no responsibility in January 6th, okay? Not only did the Justice Department say that, Nancy Pelosi said it. It's on a recording that her daughter made on January 6th, and she said she did it. It's her fault. Liz Cheney's committee in Congress cleared President Trump of any wrongdoing on January 6th, too. But totally exonerated now. That Judge Chunkin case and J6, it's over. Whether you agree or disagree with the way President Trump reacted on January 6th, he was president, and that was in the course of his official duties. That's it. It's over. But what I was talking to a call about in the first hour, and this is so true, the reasons that President Trump is winning New Hampshire, Michigan, Whitmer said day before yesterday Trump was going to win Michigan. She's trying to walk it back now because they put a lot of pressure on her, but she said it. Saying Biden isn't winning Michigan means that's the same thing as saying Trump's going to win it. He's winning in these places for a number of reasons. One are the gas prices and the grocery prices. Holy smokes. But the other one is this lawfare. If they would have stuck with one case, the documents case, and didn't do the break-in, they would have not lost credibility with their own people. Those of us that are on the Trump train, we're with him no matter what, and we always have been. President Trump is performing in these blue areas so well, and with different groups. My goodness, they're putting out hip-hop rap songs about him now, black people. It's crazy what's going on now. Is because they went too far with too many cases, and it became so obvious as to what it really is. By the way, the documents case is completely gone. That most definitely was in all of that was in his duties as president. They're over. It's over. It doesn't seem like it's over because it's a holiday week. It's over. And none of it should have happened because all presidents have had this immunity. All of them. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Yes, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, this is Joan from Tampa Bay.
Hey, Joan.
Did you hear what that Harry Systems or whatever?
I don't know who you're talking about. What'd they say?
Okay, according to the Supreme Court, Biden could now send in SEAL Team 6.
Well, that's not true. None of that's true. None of that's true. It doesn't mean it's true. You know, all these examples that they're using with SEAL Team 6, it's nonsense. There's a mechanism in place. You know, the Nazis in Nuremberg, right? Remember what their defense was? I was just following orders, right? And
He's a dem influencer
hold.
for $100,000.
Yeah, well, is this the one where the Secret Service showed up yesterday? There was one of the. Is he the young guy who hasn't gone through puberty yet? That guy? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Apparently he's getting visited by the Secret Service for some comments he made. Listen, no, in the Nuremberg trials, the Nazi officers said we were just following orders, and the ruling of the courts was that soldiers are not clear to follow unlawful orders. Okay, so if a president gave an order to do something illegal, like you're suggesting, right? Like this guy tweeted and all this stuff. They're not obliged to follow that order, nor should they, or they're committing the crime.
Because I think he's a lunatic.
Well, yeah, they all are. They all are. Hey, listen, I appreciate the call. You know, and by the way, what orders did Trump give in his first term that were unlawful? Can someone tell me what this is? And I don't want to hear January 6th because he didn't give any orders to do anything wrong on January 6th, okay? What orders did he give that were illegal? I'm seeing a lot of illegal things going on in this White House. Fani Willis and her gigolo meeting with Biden officials, Biden's lawyer at the White House, then they arrest Trump and get a mugshot. That's a crime, okay? What was done illegally by Trump? Nothing. All right, we'll take our break for the bottom of the hour and be right back.
Making morning radio great again. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning. From the all-year cooling weather center, South Florida's #1 choice for same-day AC service and installation. Here's your oldies forecast.
Good morning from the True Oldies Channel Weather Center. I'm Mike Balsam. Plenty of clouds hanging out over your head this morning. Got some light chances of rain increasing as we get closer to noon. Gonna top out on the feels like close to 100 later today.
And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Not much going on early this Tuesday morning if you're heading to Boca, Delray Beach, Wellington, or to Palm Beach Gardens on 95 Military Trail or US 1. Now there is construction on the turnpike northbound at Boynton Beach Boulevard. This report is sponsored by Audible. Get immersed in new worlds and ideas with Audible. Explore an incredible selection of audiobooks, podcasts, all in one easy app.
That hairy kid.
Yeah.
He also went to he quote unquote got invited to talk with a Democratic representative or whatever, and he apparently was saying these really good questions, but his texts got leaked from the Free Information Act. And literally their representatives contacted him and said, "Hey, ask these questions," and then got exposed for that.
He's a punk.
Yeah. I always hear the joke of he has a really punchable face.
Oh, yeah.
He's the same person who was like, "Oh, Biden worked on his debate prep for a week, blah blah blah," and then after the debate, "Oh, debate prep doesn't matter. He won this and that." I hate videos. I follow so much people that stitch his videos and then do everything that he said wrong. Just I don't know how.
So, Carl, according to people you've been talking to, people, several of them who are very close to President Biden, who love him, have supported him, and been among them are some people who raised a lot of money for him, and they are adamant that what we saw the other night, the Joe Biden we saw, is not a one-off, that there have been
Ugh. Typo.
How important is a good night's sleep, and when was the last time you got one? I get one each and every night with the MyPillow mattress topper. They're 50% off now with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout at mypillow.com. Pair it with new pillows and those fabulous Giza Dream sheets. There's huge discounts on those too. Free shipping on all orders over $75 with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at mypillow.com. You'll thank me in the morning.
When you're looking for a retirement advisor, you know trust and experience are two big qualities to look for. And as it turns out, my friend Jupiter Joe Thomas possesses both of these. Whether you're in retirement or looking to retire, I want you to give local expert Joe Thomas a call. Here's the number, 561-743-0999. Or, even simpler, you can go to jupiterjoe.com. Mention my name, John Tesh. You'll receive a free copy of Joe's book, Retirement Know-It-All. Great book. Call 561-743-0999. Or remember, go to jupiterjoe.com. That's jupiterjoe.com.
Brian Craig here. Our 6th annual cruise is coming up, and you're all invited. This time, we're sailing for 7 nights on Celebrity Cruise Line's newest ship, the Ascent, to Puerto Plata, St. Thomas, and St. Martin. We set sail March 30th. We have private shore excursions, private cocktail parties, group activities. We're going to go to the shows together and much, much more. Call in at Cruise and Travel Depot right now, 561-244-5779, 561-244-5779, and online at cruisingdepot.com to make your reservation and lock in our private group rate. Nothing comes close to Celebrity Cruises.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian, celebrating 47 years.
All righty, welcome back. 35 minutes after the hour, we are celebrating the Supreme Court of the United States acknowledging that presidents have immunity, that Trump has been totally cleared. Each one of these cases, the New York 34 fake convictions, documents, the J6 case, gone. Oh, Fulton County, gone. He has complete immunity from prosecution. All right? That's the way it is. And this next clip I want to share, this is really, I've watched CNN more in the last week since the debate than I've watched since the 1991 Gulf War. I really have. I have not watched this much CNN. CNN is all day, all night after Biden, trying to get him to drop out. It's a total deep state operation. We'll talk about Dana Bash, CIA. Their other big CIA guy is, of course, Anderson Cooper. Okay? Did you see him with Carl Bernstein yesterday? Carl Bernstein is also deep state. Woodward and Bernstein did zero investigative reporting during Watergate. Zero. It's a book of lies. I've read All the President's Men. It's a book of lies. All the information was given to them by Mark Felt, who was known as Deep Throat, and then after Mark Felt died, they gave us his name. Mark Felt was a disgruntled senior FBI guy who was pissed off at Richard Nixon that he wasn't made director when Hoover died. He knew Bob Woodward, and he gave Woodward and Bernstein everything. The movie that they made, All the President's Men, I've seen that movie probably 50 times. It's a great movie. It's a lie. And the purpose of that movie was to create a false historical narrative that Woodward and Bernstein did investigative reporting on Watergate. They were given everything by the deep state. It was a deep state takedown. You know that thing, you remember that half the movie is them going around at night knocking on strangers' doors, right? All lies. They were handed everything by Mark Felt from the FBI. So Bernstein, who's been a deep stater his whole life, okay, was on with CIA operative Anderson Cooper last night talking about Biden. Listen to this. And if you guys aren't watching CNN after 9 o'clock, not between 6 and 9 a.m., but if you're not watching CNN later in the day and in the evenings, you're missing out on this deep state takedown. So this is Anderson Cooper with Carl Bernstein last night. This is absolutely astounding.
Person I
Provided another data point for anyone trying to assess his physical and mental state from a distance. Tonight, though, after a weekend of calls for him to bow out of the race and sharp rebuttals from his supporters, we have some new reporting from Carl Bernstein, CNN political analyst and author and legendary journalist. So, Carl, according to the people you've been talking to, what are you hearing?
Well, these are people, several of them, who are very close to President Biden, who love him, have supported him, and been among them are some people who have raised a lot of money for him. And they are adamant that what we saw the other night, the Joe Biden we saw, is not a one-off.
Okay, now I'll go into more of this. See what's going on here? In liberal news circles, I know this sounds crazy to conservative people, okay? But to the Washington insiders and to the corporate media, CNN is the news source of record. It's like what the New York Times used to be, the newspaper of record. CNN is the mainstream media source of record. When CNN reports something, it's like the gospel to these people. All right? So this narrative that's being totally all day and all night promoted on CNN is all an effort by the deep state to bring Biden down like they brought down Nixon. My only confusion is why are they doing it at such a late date? Because there's no scenario where Trump doesn't win election. Why don't they just write it out 6 months? Something has happened that we're not aware of is my only answer, because I don't understand why they would go to such effort when it's almost over.
Been 15, 20 occasions in the last year and a half when the president has appeared somewhat as he did in that horror show.
Okay, now this is interesting. Now, I know a lot of you will say, well, I'm not watching that liberal. Watching CNN right now is like being inside CIA headquarters in Langley, Virginia, okay? You're getting to see them at work. Now, what Carl Bernstein said is absolutely amazing. There were 15 incidents of Biden publicly seen like he was at the debate last night. Well, 2 weeks ago, they were telling us all these things we saw were fake, cheap fakes, crafted by MAGA Republicans. Now Anderson Cooper and Carl Bernstein are telling you they were all real, which CNN was reporting 2 weeks ago were all fake.
That we witness. And what's so significant is the people that this is coming from, and also how many people around the president are aware of such incidents, including some reporters, incidentally, who have witnessed some of them. But here we see tonight, as these people say, President Biden at his absolute best, and yet these people who have supported him, loved him, campaigned for him, see him often, say that in the last 6 months particularly, there has been a marked incidence of cognitive decline and physical infirmity.
What I wonder about is the people who were, working with him at Camp David, allegedly in this intensive debate prep, if there were concerns there about this, and I don't know if you have got any word about that, but how anybody involved in that debate prep, didn't anybody see something must have been?
The debate.
Okay, now we'll get to that in a second. Now, this is absolutely astounding, and I know some people will say, we know all this. I love all these people that just know everything. This is what you don't understand. You know it, I know it, but the left didn't know it. The average liberal on the street gets their news from CNN and MSNBC. And they've been told the few times that these things about Biden have leaked out are fake. That the videos we've seen of him stumbling on the stairs, the dead stairs, blanked out, those were all fake, cheap fake videos created by MAGA Republicans to slander Biden. Now they're acknowledging that all of it was true. And now what Anderson Cooper is doing here with Bernstein is fascinating, because this comes after the Camp David family meeting. So on Friday, Biden tells Obama to kiss off. He wanted them to drop out. Then they have their meeting. They give them the weekend. They're going to have the family meeting. They come out of the family meeting and say, we're staying. So now what Bernstein is doing with Anderson Cooper, notice how they're starting to put the pressure on his staff. Their last names aren't Biden. They're not immune.
Supervised by Ron Klain, who has been with President Biden for many years. And people I've talked to have all been to Ron Klain in the last year to say, we have a problem. We have a problem such as we saw the other night.
Okay, now Ron Klain, Biden's former chief of staff, is who went with Obama with the face-to-face meeting on Friday to Biden and said, drop out. Remember, that's what happened with Nixon. Remember, the Republicans went to Nixon and said, you've got to resign. You're going to be impeached and removed from office. And he resigned. The Democrats on Friday tried to do with Biden what the Republicans did with Nixon, and he said, get out of here.
There have been numerous instances where the president has lost his train of thought, can't pick it up again. There was a fundraiser at which he started at the podium, and then he became very stiff, according to the people there, as if it were almost a kind of rigor mortis.
This was reported allegedly in June of 2020.
This was June of, this was a year ago almost exactly, at the old Four Seasons restaurant on Park Avenue. And he became very stiff, and a chair had to be brought for him to do the latter part of the event.
Now, this is absolutely amazing. When I saw this yesterday, this just blew my mind. So now what we're getting are things that have gone on behind the scenes that we didn't see, that we didn't know about in detail, this incident with the chair. What these are warnings. They're beginning to nudge Jill, but mostly Jill, that they're going to start bringing things out that the public hasn't seen previously. This is a crisis point and a division inside Washington that we've never seen. You know, all these movies you've seen about Watergate, they always show the White House at night and Nixon's in there and he's freaking out and he's drinking and everything else, talking to kids. That's what's going on right now in the White House. The White House is under siege, and Nixon was brought down because the Republicans dropped him, remember. Not because the Democrats, because the Republicans dropped him. And that's what's happening right now to Biden.
What these folks are saying and have been saying for a while is, yes, he's great when we see him, as we have tonight, but he also has these inexplicable moments that we're very concerned about, and you, Ron Klain, and the First Family, we need to talk about this, and they've been pushed back repeatedly whenever it's been brought up.
And did your sources tell you about topics he's particularly engaged in, or are there?
Not only, and it's not just these same people. There is no question. I have heard for 2 years how sharp Joe Biden is in his national security meetings. He has special briefing books on Ukraine, on the situation in Gaza that go down into very detailed military reports. He has an absolute command of the facts. He's sharp as can be. You see the evidence of his being the chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee in the Senate, of his work as vice president on foreign relations. So we're clearly dealing with two sets of one person. And it really needs to be explored, according to the people I'm talking to, and I think an awful lot of major Democrats believe this, including some who have made statements to the contrary. But this is a problem that's not going to go away unless it's explicable.
Okay. Now this is just blows my mind. You never hear Democrats talking this way about other Democrats. Never. Nothing like this ever happens, okay? They used to talk about Reagan like this. So what Bernstein's doing here now is he's talking about inside sources he has in the White House that are currently there. So what's that doing? What that's doing, it has Jill Biden trying to root out who's talking to Bernstein, right? So they've got this cell of loyalty inside the White House, the Bidens, and now Jill doesn't trust them anymore because someone, maybe more, but at least one person is talking to Carl Bernstein. So she this morning is on a mission to find out who that is. And believe me, she's a terror doing it. So the people around him and her that have been loyal, all of a sudden they're getting her wrath, which means they're going to turn against her, and they're going to start talking to more people and get out of there because they're starting to get nervous now. We're going to take our last break of the second hour. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian Craig. Our number is toll-free 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
Hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on the Steve Kane Show.
Hey, we need a timeout. Is your performance in the bedroom keeping you on the bench? Does fatigue have you feeling subpar? You gotta man up with Game Day Men's Health, where you can find high-quality, effective treatment programs, even if you're on the go. Call 561-355-5341. Testosterone therapy rejuvenates you with a renewed joy of life, with a free consultation and test as quick as 15 minutes. Treat your ED with Gaines Wave, non-invasive sound waves in your blood vessels. Proven by clinical research that it is safe and provides long-term results when you're in the bedroom. Consider HGH therapy to rev up your engine with HGH peptides, helping men fight fatigue and trim belly fat. A 100% bioidentical hormones facility, Game Day Men's Health will get you back in the game in no time. 561-355-5341. Visit our new location in Palm Beach Gardens on the corner of North Lake and North Military Trail. Their enjoyable man cave environment provides refreshments and flat screen TVs, aided by expert licensed staff who specialize in male health and wellness. Nothing else compared. Call 561-355-5341 or online at GameDayMen'sHealth.com for more information. Don't sideline your well-being. Let Game Day Men's Health help you score big.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
The Greater South Florida Chamber Business Expo Health Fair and City Festival happens Wednesday, July 10 from 9:30 to 2:30 at the South County Civic Center in Delray Beach. Get healthy, get educated, and have fun. Your friends from the True Oldies channel will be there from 11 to 1 with raffles, giveaways, and so much more. Come out and say hi. It's the Greater South Florida Chamber Business Expo Health Fair and City Festival. Wednesday, July 10, 9:30 to 2:30 at the South County Civic Center, 16700 Jog Road in Delray Beach. Learn more at GreaterSouthFloridaChamber.com.
Just because you're getting older doesn't mean you have to feel older. This is Brian Craig, and I want to tell you about my anti-aging doctor, Dr. Mitch Matez at the Biostation West Delray, and hormone replacement pellet therapy. Hormone replacement pellet therapy is all natural. What it does is restore your hormones to where they were when you were in your 20s. You'll feel younger, you'll have more energy, you'll get your sex drive back, and women, hormone replacement pellet therapy completely stops and reverses all the signs and symptoms of menopause. Mood swings, gone. Night sweats, gone. I've met listeners before and after hormone replacement pellet therapy with Dr. Matez, and when I first meet him, they're like Joe.
This is unheard of, what's going on with these people. It's insane.
And they have their energy back, just like Trump. They're standing up tall, and they feel years younger. Now, it's always a free consultation with Dr. Matez when you tell him you heard about him on the radio. 561-320-8893. 561-320-8893.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All right, welcome back, one and all. And if you or someone you know suffer from neuropathy, oh my goodness, neuropathy is awful. You know, people that have neuropathy, you know, people have different levels of it, like anything else. But most people that are suffering with neuropathy either are confined to bed or living a life in complete pain. That's just the way it is, and it's an awful way to live. And your doctors will tell you there is no treatment for neuropathy. Well, your doctors are wrong. There is a treatment for neuropathy, and it's a treatment that works at Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano. And I remember, Lighthouse Medical Center has been in practice in Pompano with the same family of physicians for 75 years. And if that's not enough testament to the great work that they do at Lighthouse Medical, I don't know what is. 75 years, same family in practice in Pompano. That's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Probably the oldest medical practice in Broward County. And their neuropathy treatment works. They can help you no matter where you're located. No matter where you're located in Florida, no matter where you're located in America, Lighthouse Medical can help you with your neuropathy. Here's the number, 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. And online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com. Now, last week, I got a call from a lady who lives in Texas. We were talking about the poor girl who was raped and murdered, the 12-year-old little girl Jocelyn, by Biden's illegals. And she said, you've got to start following the crime news in Texas, that there is an insane crime wave going on in Texas. Well, that is true. And, I mean, Texas is being invaded with a deadlier invasion than during the War of Texan Independence, and that is not an exaggeration. There probably hasn't been this much death in Texas since maybe ever, really. And listen to this. Okay, so this is an isolated story, and then I have some numbers for you. 2 shot dead at a Texas Chick-fil-A by an illegal alien. A 37-year-old illegal from El Salvador was arrested after shooting and killing 2 employees at a Chick-fil-A in Irving, Texas on Wednesday. I haven't even seen this in the national news. The Irving Police Department identified the shooter. He opened fire on workers at around 3:40 p.m. The illegal alien from El Salvador has been charged with multiple counts of capital homicide for the incident at the Chick-fil-A. Federal immigration authorities confirmed that Mendoza, Mendoza Argueta, I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name, was in the United States illegally. Officers responding to the Chick-fil-A found 2 critically injured victims inside. Both were shortly pronounced dead at the scene. Police tracked down the illegal during a brief manhunt. He did flee the scene. They got him in custody. And he was identified by people that were there. I mean, that is just god-awful. And these Democrats run around and say, oh, well, what makes that crime worse than someone who's a citizen that does it? It's because, you know, the purpose of law enforcement through our entire justice system is to prevent crimes from happening, not just enforce the laws against people who commit them. And what I mean by that is, one of the biggest deterrents of crime is the fear of getting locked up. These illegals come here that are hardcore murdering felons in their home country. They've just gotten away with everything they've ever gotten away with, and they're living in the greatest country in the world. So, of course, they go and reoffend. All these crimes are preventable. So I did a little research early this morning. There's an article in PJ Media. It's very detailed. I'm just going to share a little bit of it with you before we break at the top. And then after the top, we'll get back into the great Supreme Court ruling. But this is important stuff. PJ Media did an investigative report on the illegal crime wave. Illegal alien criminals, okay, crime numbers are insanely high. Rapists, thieves, murderers, and gang members are pouring into the United States with little to no vetting. In Chicago alone, just in Chicago, between 2021 and 2023, arrest of Venezuelan illegals went up by more than 11,000%. And the crime wave continues with rapes, abductions, thefts, assaults, and murders around the United States. The numbers are staggering. In 2023, which is the last year that we have numbers for, because we're still in 24, and it's got to be worse now because they've been bringing more and more in. In 2023 alone, 73,822 non-citizens with criminal history were arrested. Okay? 73,822 non-citizens with criminal histories were arrested for various crimes around the United States. That's a city. The 73,822, among them, had 290,178 charges and convictions, with an average of 4 charges and convictions per individual. According to Biden's Immigration and Customs Enforcement, that's ICE, these included 33,209 assaults, 4,390 sex and sexual assaults, 7,520 weapons offenses, 1,713 charges or convictions for homicide, 1,655 kidnapping offenses. I mean, these are numbers that are insanely high. Illegal retail theft rings have exploded across America. In one case, authorities in Port Charlotte, Florida, the arrest of 2 illegal women who were arrested after being suspected of shoplifting. They were found with $6,000 in stolen merchandise. Just these 2 ladies. It goes on and on. I'm up against the break. But I think the point's been made. My goodness. The numbers are worse than I ever imagined. Can you imagine over 250,000, almost 300,000 violent crimes? We'll take our break for the top of the hour. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian Craig. We'll be back right after our top of the hour break.
WSFS 104.3 HD3 Miramar, WIRK 103.1 HD3 Indiantown, and heard in Broward on 96.9 FM, Boca Raton on 95.3 FM, West Palm Beach on 95.9 FM, and in Martin County on 106.9 FM. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Your home for the Steve Kane Show. From the All-Year Cooling Weather Center, South Florida's #1 choice for same-day AC service and installation. Here's your Oldies forecast.
Good morning from the True Oldies Channel Weather Center. I'm Mike Balsamo. Plenty of clouds hanging out over your head this morning. Got some light chances of rain that are increasing as we get closer to noon. Gonna top out on the feels like close to 100 later today.
And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Happy 4th of July from PBKC. We are open all week long. Come out to the poker room with 65 tables of action with cash games, daily high hands, mega bad beat jackpots, and exciting tournaments. Bet small and win big with table games like Ultimate Texas Hold'em or 3-card poker with just a $5 minimum all day, every day. Exciting poker and table game action 7 days a week at PBKC. Go to pbkennelclub.com.
Are you looking for a reliable and user-friendly home security system that also offers home automation features? Well, look no further than Sloman Shield. This comprehensive system integrates home security and automation, giving you control over your home at your fingertips. With Sloman, you'll enjoy peace of mind that comes with knowing your home is protected and monitored 24/7. And as a special offer, Sloman's is now providing a free system and installation when you sign up for their affordable central station monitoring. This incredible package
Wow.
includes a color LED touchscreen keypad, 10 contact motion detector, cellular communication with backup battery, and of course, professional installation. And for a limited time, Sloman's will also throw in video surveillance capabilities, including the choice of an outdoor or indoor video camera. With this feature, you can view your home.
I mean, those numbers are, I think, much higher than anyone realizes. I mean, they're insanely high.
gold, silver, battery metals, clean tech, biotech, and AI equities. Listen to Money Talk Radio South Florida with me, Ellis Martin, 9:30 a.m. weekdays here on your true oldies station.
Brian Craig here. When it comes time to get my blood work done, I don't have time to spend hours in the doctor's office or waiting hours at one of those big labs. That's why I go to Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs for all of my lab work. Their techs are highly skilled and professional, and their prices are guaranteed to be the lowest on lab work you'll find anywhere. Appointments aren't necessary. Doctor's orders and prescriptions, they're not needed either. I'm in and out in 15 minutes or less. I get the results the next day in my email box, and they also send it to my doctor. There's lots of Any Lab Test Nows around, but these are the only two advertising on our radio station. So don't use the rest. Only go to Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza. That's where the Western Beef is, between Palmetto Park Road and Hillsborough Boulevard on the east side of State Road 7, 441. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is on the southeast corner of University and Bramblewood by the Coral Square Mall. Call Any Lab Test Now of Boca at 561-237-9009. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs number is 954-906-5983. And don't forget to mention that you heard about them on the radio.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with...
All right, welcome back, one and all. You know, there's, if you're on hold, stand by. I'll go right to the phones in just a minute. Those crime stats, that means there's almost 300,000 victims of crime. Think about that. That's a lot of people, man. That's a lot of people. It's crazy. And, you know, this Chick-fil-A murder of the two workers, what was even that about? How much money could they have gotten from a crime like that? What was the point of that crime? I don't know. There weren't a lot of details on that. I mean, nothing. You know, yeah, I worry about my daughter all the time out in California. I talk to her at least once a day. I mean, yeah, but, you know, what good does that do? You know, it's crazy what's going on out there. And across this country. And some of these instances are here in Florida because there's a lot of illegals being brought here by Biden, okay? You're not safe anywhere. But Chick-fil-A is one of those places, even in Texas or Florida, is a gun-free zone because the employees that work there are young. So they don't, you know, in Texas and here, everyone's got guns. But when you're working at Chick-fil-A and you're a teenager or 20 years old, you know, you're not carrying. You can't defend yourself. I mean, it's senseless and all preventable. And you know what? The Bidens don't care. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. It's Sandra from Boca. How are you today?
Hey, Sandra. Scary stuff.
No, you brought up something very interesting. You always bring up something that coincides with something that I saw. You always bring up something that, you know, coincides with that. And I saw on my Ring camera, you know, the videos that they show you of your crime going on in your area and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we're two illegals that they're posing as Amazon workers for deliveries. And the video shows that these two are approaching the, you know,
This is in Boca?
I don't know exactly. It doesn't really show you the location. But you see the video, and you know those yellow vests that these Amazon workers wear to hide kind of themselves,
yes,
working and all that. Okay, so they ring the bell, and the person opens the door, and you got to see it. They just bust in. They bust in, and they rob the guy. You don't know what happened after that, of course, because you can't see inside the house. But that was one of the scariest things I think I've ever seen. I'm not going to open...
I mean, look, when Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, when the posses were after them and they went to Bolivia, they started robbing banks again. People that are criminals, they always go back to what they know. You know, I don't open up the door for anyone. Anyone. I don't care who they are. Never. You know, we do DoorDash or Instacart, right, for our groceries. We always have them leave them on the front porch. I never open the doors up until they drive off.
Well, I have a camera in front of my house, and anytime somebody's on the grounds, I get the little signal, the little delicate ring.
Yeah, me too.
I just start speaking from the phone. Who are you?
Oh, I watch them. I don't talk to them. Sometimes they'll talk to you through the app. I'll do that. But I don't talk to them. I don't engage. I don't want any connection. You know, and sadly, I've got, you know, this, what you're talking about is very common. The problem that the Democrats just don't care. One of the many problems, the Democrats have a lot of problems, but one of the problems they have is they have no empathy towards the crime victims in this country from the criminals they're bringing here.
Not at all. Not at all.
Mm-hmm. All right.
With that percent.
Well, no one should do not open your doors for anyone. I mean, it's crazy to do that. All right, take care. I appreciate the call. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. It's Berta from Texas.
Hey, Berta.
God bless you for doing this because.
Yeah, that was you. That was you that I was talking to last week, and there's been so much going on. I haven't had a chance to get into it, but I found these numbers, and the numbers are so large of Biden's illegal crime, committing crimes, it's hard to even comprehend.
And that's the crime that's already noted. There's still people every day going through this. And I'm going to tell you what happened to the Irving Chick-fil-A. It looks like one of the workers was the girlfriend, and the shooter got in a fight with the girlfriend and went there to try to get her out and continue the fight, and they were just collateral damage. Is that ridiculous?
Most murders are over sex or money. That instance was sex, yeah.
Crazy, and I say God bless you, and I'm going to tell you why, Brian. Brian, I have been listening to you for years, okay? Obama days years, okay? And I remember when the what was it? No. The one in Florida, the shooting in Florida. You started a trend saying that the police officers didn't do everything. The next thing you know, everybody started talking about it. You just set a trend. And God bless you for it, because this is something everybody needs to know. Americans need to know what these illegals, what Biden's America is doing to the American people right now. And these illegals, we are funding them.
Yeah.
We are funding them. 5,000 plus a month.
Well, what happens here is, and look, Trump talks about this all the time. Crime in Venezuela is down about 70%, maybe higher. Yeah. Because they're sending everybody here. And it's not just Venezuela. And what happens is these very violent felons are it's almost like they're in the witness protection program, because they get a whole new identity and a clean record. So, yeah.
They're dead, but they need the vote. They need the vote, Brian.
Yeah, but they're killing them, their voters. And I mean, what's going on in Texas? When you mentioned this to me last week about the crime in Texas, the crime wave in Texas is probably the most death taking place in Texan history right now.
Texas to turn blue. Austin is already blue.
Yes.
If they need Texas to turn blue, so they're just flooding. It's horrible over here, and I thank you for covering it, because you just set a trend, Brian. Because I'm not the only
I hope
moderator listen to you, and I bet you I'm going to hear Benny Johnson talk about this soon. Charlie Kirk. It's going to be a domino effect, what you've just done. And I pray for someone just to notice these stats that everybody's hushing about. Okay? Now, on the Supreme Court ruling, I'm very happy. I know Joe Biden is very upset, but he should be very happy. That can't go really after him either, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, this is a win for Trump. That means the rest of the tax that are coming with this J6, they can't do this.
Well, I got to tell you something. All the presidents always have had immunity, not just Trump. They've all had immunity. The Supreme Court did not grant Trump immunity. They just recognized that all presidents have immunity, okay? If we did not have a Trump Supreme Court, the ruling would have come. This is what they would have done. I'm telling you what they would have done. They would have said that presidents have immunity, but they would have carved out exceptions so they could prosecute Trump, so that the other presidents couldn't be prosecuted. I listened to the Supreme Court. They played the audio of the Supreme Court hearing when this case was being argued, and I heard the Justice Department lawyer. He all but said this only will apply to Trump. It will not apply to other presidents. They wanted to carve out for Trump that's insane to me. And you know what
Clarence Thomas telling the other prosecutor, DA, to be careful in his footsteps.
Well, Jack Smith was not appointed through the league. The special counsel there's a special counsel statute, right? Like Ken Starr and there's a legal process that the attorney generals have to go through to appoint a special counsel. Garland didn't do that. He just said you're the guy. So what Clarence Thomas is saying is exactly what Trump's lawyers were arguing in Florida to Judge Cannon and Fort Pierce, that Jack Smith was illegally appointed. If he was illegally appointed, he has no authority to do anything.
But right now the Democrats are shaking because they don't know what to do to shake Trump now.
Trump said a few months ago at one of the rallies, they should have just left me alone. I'd be at the end of my second term now, and I'd be about to retire.
Publicly at the debate, he has a better life.
Well, yeah, but now, his second term would be over now. We'd probably have DeSantis and Nikki Haley as our nominees against Biden, and they would probably lose to Biden, and Trump would have been retired. Or, who I may not have been Biden. Who knows who the Republican or the Democrats would have had, because Biden's too out of it now. But you understand what I mean. And they've made things so much worse for them. And that, what I learned with Obama, when Obama was elected the first time, I was sick. He's a bad guy. Okay, all that Jeremiah Wright stuff and everything. Jeremiah Wright introduced him to Michelle, married him to Michelle, baptized his kids. I mean, he's an evil guy. And when he got elected and then reelected, I said on the air, this is awful. He's a terrible person. But we just got to ride it out. We'll have our turn next time. And then we got Trump. And the permanent Washington class, they can't handle it. When they lose, they get very out of control and emotional, act irrationally, and that's why they've stirred up this hornet's nest. But it's a good thing, because what they've done through the lawfare that they've done against President Trump is they've helped drain the swamp like nobody's business. Look how much larger the MAGA movement is because of what they've done.
They've increased it completely.
Mm-hmm.
Every nationality they have.
Let me ask you, before I let you go, though, in Texas, because you guys are like Florida, everybody's got guns. You have open carry in Texas, right? Is it open? Are more people carrying now? Because of they're afraid of the illegals?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even people who come to Texas get a little scared because they would be in a convenience store and all of a sudden people are walking in strapped, and I'm like, they're scared. And I said, it's okay. No, it doesn't go off on its own, because you can tell they're...
DeSantis promised us open carry, and then he caved on it. And I wanted open carry. The thing about, we have concealed carry without permits now. And I often tell people, because of the Florida weather, it's hard to conceal carry because the clothing we wear. Because today, you hear the weather reports on the station. It's going to be over 100 degrees today, the feel-like temperature. So it's hard to wear the kind of clothes you need to properly conceal all the time.
Correct.
Because
Texas is hot too, and it was hard to conceal when I first moved.
Last year I made a YouTube video about it when those guys tried to rob me when I was on my MAGA scooter. They were trying to steal it. Those guys, I didn't check their papers, but they weren't speaking English, and they looked like illegals to me.
I'm telling you, Brian, everybody's hush-hush about it, and they're not talking much about it. That's why I said, God, if I could just have one person talk about it, all America will just wake up.
Well, I appreciate your faith in my reach. Hey, take care. Appreciate the call. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
It's time to check in with attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Barry Siegel, good morning.
Good morning to you, Brian. How are you?
I'm doing well. What do you have for us this morning?
Well, as you know, we do estate planning and elder law. But today I'm going to talk about not elder law, but younger law. And here we are. It's already July 20th. That means we're only a few weeks away from our children or our grandchildren heading off to college again. And many of them are going off to college as freshmen. Just maybe they're 17, maybe they're 18. You know, when they're under 18, parents have the ability to make decisions for their underage minor children. But once they turn 18, they're adults, then we don't have that. And it's very important to make sure that we have the legal documents in place, such as powers of attorney and health care, surrogates, and even HIPAA authorizations, so that we are allowed to know what's going on. So imagine if they're going off to college, they're driving, they're going to parties, they're doing things. You know, of course, kids think they're invincible, nothing's going to ever happen. We need to make sure that they are prepared, so the parents are able to handle situations. If any of those issues, God forbid, happen, parents are in position to be able to make decisions and receive information. That's why it's so important for kids turning 18 to have their documents when they're going off to college.
Yeah, that's right. And a lot of people say, well, my kid's 18, it's not my responsibility. It's your responsibility to pay all their bills still, isn't it, parents? So you still have parental responsibilities. Listen, Attorney Barry Siegel is Steve Kane's attorney. He did all of his documents. And it's always a free consultation with the Siegel Law Group. If you mention you heard Attorney Barry Siegel on the radio, and no matter where you are in the state of Florida, he can help you. He has physical offices throughout Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach counties. But no matter where you are in Florida, with the age of Zoom, he can help you. His number is toll-free, 855-FLA-3782, 855-FLA-3782, and online, SiegelLawGroup.com. All right, Attorney Barry Siegel, take care. We'll talk later in the week.
All right, thank you, Brian.
All right, take care.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, Harrison Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All righty, we're back coming up on 21 minutes after the hour. It is Tuesday, July 2nd. Remember, Steve and I are going to be live on the 4th of July, guys, so you know. All right? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian from Deerfield.
Oh, yes, Brian. Go ahead.
Yes, hi, Brian. You know, Brian, that 300,000 number is a very, very powerful number there, and it really resonates with people. One thing that hasn't, you mentioned the lack of compassion from our leader, Commander-in-Chief, Biden. But I haven't heard any Democrats at any level speak about any empathy to the victims or compassion about anything. I mean, this seems to permeate this whole Democratic Party. It's almost like they're a soulless party.
Exactly.
Nobody, yeah. When a 12-year-old girl puts up a battle like that under a bridge and is passed away and thrown in the water, where is the compassion? Where is the empathy for this family? Donald Trump reached out to these people. Where's the commander? 10 days in Camp David, he can't even pick up the phone and call these people?
Because if he did, I mean, there's a number of reasons why he doesn't. If he did, he'd have to acknowledge Trump was right on the border. He'd have to acknowledge he was wrong on the border. They've created in their mind that Hispanics all support illegal immigration for some reason, when the opposite is true. They're afraid they'll alienate their constituency. There's all kinds of twisted reasons, but I think it all boils down to he just doesn't care. We're less, you know, they're the nobility and we're just peasants.
Like a feudal kingdom, we're the serfs and they're the royalty.
Yeah, New York, the New York media and the D.C. permanent Washington class, they're the nobility, the lords, the ladies, and Hunter's the prince, and we're peasants.
And Hunter's also the chief advisor now. I mean, this is, how sick is the party? It permeates the whole party, and I think people are starting to really resonate with people.
Yeah.
I also noticed now, I was watching, I was with Chuck Todd, he did the Meet the Press. Now they're telling people, the fellow Democrats, you have to support Joe Biden. And now it looks like they're starting to feed on each other again.
I think there's division. You know, CNN and MSNBC have two different takes on this whole Biden thing. CNN is very much undermining Biden every step of the way. MSNBC is circling the wagons. But that shows you the division inside the Democrat Party. And going into, people have all these worries about Trump and how can we defeat them and all this stuff. They don't have an organization that's functional anymore. Their party machine is not functioning.
Well, are we looking at a collapse here?
Yeah, it is. Wow.
And the idea that the Hispanic Americans are in favor of this illegal immigration, I don't know where they're getting that from, because everybody I know, they're not in favor of this at all. They don't like it at all.
People that become U.S. citizens legally is a huge process, and it's a big deal and celebration when they finally, get the citizenship. And they don't like this stuff. Plus, who likes criminals coming in? I mean, these are some bad dudes that are coming here. I mean, these are the worst crimes that you can commit.
November 5th, I hope, is another point to get people out to vote.
Mm-hmm.
That's when we take it back. So, sure, bro.
All right. I appreciate the call. I don't like bringing out numbers and stuff, but sometimes you gotta. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Arkansas.
Hey, Mike.
This is my Bluetooth. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. It's working surprisingly well for a Bluetooth. What's on your mind?
Well, Arkansas, we're a constitutional carrier here. We can carry anything we want.
Yeah.
Clothes or any way you want to carry it. But anyway,
well, you're lucky. In Florida, we have concealed carry, which is better than nothing. But it's still. I don't like to conceal carry. I've tried several different holsters, and but me, I'm weird. I don't, I got an Apple Watch. I don't wear it. It's at home on my nightstand. I don't like to wear watches. I don't like jewelry. I only wear my wedding ring when I go to. I wear it on the cruise and when I go on a special events and stuff. But I don't even wear I can't. So it just drives me nuts. If I could carry it open when I didn't feel it so much, I'd have it all the time. But we can't.
I wanted to make a comment on the Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
This is just a bunch of papers.
No, I know where he's going with that. Please. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Roberto Bonelli. I'm calling from Palm Beach Gardens, and I wanted to give a different opinion about what's going on with the courts and what's going on in the MAGA world.
What's your name?
Roberto Bonelli.
Okay.
The Republican, but I'm not. I'm independent. So I wanted to know why all this court, that's all this ruling, as I'm watching television, and I disagree with it because there's no rule of law in this.
Well, hopefully you're independently MAGA.
I'm independent.
But you support? Do you support Donald Trump? You're going to vote for him in November? But are you going to wait? Are you going to vote for Trump this time?
No.
Of course not. How? What do you mean? I don't even know who you are. Why not? Who are you going to vote for?
Oh yeah, but Mike Pence knows who I am.
Who are you? No, not anyone. Who are you voting for?
I may not vote for anybody. I'm gonna just go to Europe and stay there.
Oh, okay. Oh, good. Why are you not voting for Trump?
He has so many things against him.
Like what?
Townsend deal with New York case, and I feel that he has to be accounted for.
What he's got to be accounted for what? What did he do wrong?
What did he do wrong? If I knew because I probably know his wife. He has to account to his wife for one thing.
He has to account to his wife. What has he done to his wife?
Well, the porno star while she was having a baby.
He did what while she was having a baby? What did he do?
His wife. I mean, you don't have to play.
No. What did he do? What did he do to his wife? What did Donald Trump do to his wife? What are you talking about?
Well, it's very simple. He went out with a porn star and had sex with her. Very simple.
No, he didn't. No, he did not. How do you know this? How do you know this?
Maybe you're going to see that show tonight.
Oh my goodness. Oh boy. Ugh. I had to listen carefully because of the accent. He said the S word. He said you have to watch that S tonight on MSNBC. Well, I was getting ready to go for the walk down the garden path with him, but I guess he sensed it and dropped the. His English isn't all that great, but he's right with the profanity. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. This is Barbara in Baltimore.
Hey, Barbara. I was trying to have a conversation with that guy before, but dropping the profanity is,
worth the conversation or the time wasted, really, because apparently he did not hear Stormy Daniels signed a letter stating that nothing happened.
Well, I was about to get to that, but he dropped the profanities first.
But of all reasons, I mean, I didn't call to talk about this, but of all reasons to not vote for Donald Trump is because of Stormy Daniels. He's got to be nuts. He's got to be the stupidest person in this country to believe that. Donald Trump is a germaphobe. Donald Trump has had access all of his freaking adult life to some of the most beautiful women, and they've been out there throwing it at him. I looked at Stormy Daniels when that story first came out, and I said, that's a lie. He didn't touch her.
Of course not.
A porn star is being handed around to everybody that it's crazy even to think of it. But anyhow, about the concealed carry, I understand your issue because I have concealed carry here in Maryland too. I found a fanny pack that holds not only my 9mm, also it holds my revolver, which is my favorite. I really like my 38 Hammerless best of all the guns. But it will hold that. It has special place for you to put your extra magazine and.
Well, first off, I mean, I'm not going to go around wearing a fanny pack. I mean, I'd almost rather that'd be awful. What would I look like walking around with a fanny pack? I'd look like a dork.
Well, you look like a man with a gun, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, there's also a belt. There's one that wraps around.
I didn't say that I don't carry. I say I don't like to carry. There's a big difference. The main reason I don't like to carry. There's a couple reasons I don't like to carry. Okay. One of them, it is difficult to conceal with the Florida heat. There's no doubt about that. The other thing is because, like those guys that tried to rob me of my MAGA scooter, okay? Now, all I had to defend myself were my keys, but when I was, my dad was a Marine, and he taught me how to take somebody down with just a finger in the eyes. So, the key, people keep saying, what are we going to do with the keys? I was going to go for someone's eye, okay? That ends the fight right there. You're fighting for your life, okay? But if I used my gun in self-defense, typically, like with these two guys, what would happen if a guy that does what I do for a living with my MAGA hat shot in self-defense, shot two illegals? What would happen to me?
In Florida, you might get a medal.
Now, I am in the county that prosecuted Rush Limbaugh for doctor shopping. This is a Democrat county. Florida is a MAGA state, but Palm Beach County, where Mar-a-Lago is a Democrat county. So they'd be pulling up things I've said over the years about immigration. They'd put me under the jail. And I know a lot of people would say, I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. That's a nice bumper sticker, but
No, you have to be tried by 12 than carried by 6. That is true.
The worst thing anyone who is a gun owner is to use your gun in self-defense. You never want to use your gun in self-defense.
Just get the insurance and don't worry about it.
If you get the insurance, oh my gosh, don't tell me you have the insurance.
Well.
Oh my gosh, that's the worst thing you can do. Let me tell people about this. Barbara's going to get upset with me again. You've heard ads. There's insurance available that will cover your legal defense in case you have to use your gun in self-defense and you get prosecuted. And if you were to use your gun in self-defense and they charged you, and you used your in this insurance policy, the prosecution would say it was premeditated. Look, they got insurance to cover the legal fees. Premeditated first-degree murder. The insurance is the worst thing that a gun owner can have. You don't want the insurance. That makes it murder one.
I'm not going to get upset with you. Anytime I dip it from you, don't think that I'm upset.
You've gotten upset. Okay.
Upset. Simply, say what they say. But what I
don't get the insurance, guys. Don't get you. Do you hear me? Have you heard me? A lot of people like me do commercials for the insurance. Have you heard me do the commercials for the gun defense insurance? No, you have not. There's that's why. Yeah, it'd be total. Yeah.
Well, Sean does, and that's where I got it from. But anyway, that's...
Oh, my goodness.
Well, the violence, it's a personal choice, you know what I'm saying? But anyhow, the violence that you were talking about is the reason that I called. And one surprise, first of all, I'm surprised that they rolled Joe Biden out last night to make him look like a fool again. And what he said shows everything about Joe Biden is evil.
True.
He's evil.
True.
Evil, and you combine that with what's happening to his brain because of the dementia. He's completely
And did you see the makeup they put on him? I'm surprised. It looked like they put him in blackface last night. They had so much makeup on him because he's so white and pasty at the debate.
Pale.
Yeah.
So pale.
Yeah.
He looks like a walking corpse. I almost felt for him during that debate, and I think that Donald Trump had some compassion for him because he really could have done a lot more damage than he did. He didn't make fun of him at all. It was just a fantastic debate. Probably it was historic, especially to see.
And then last night, if you go back and watch the video of Biden's little statement last night, watch when he turned around and walked away from the press. He scooted away like an old man who could hardly walk. Hey, Barbara, I'm very late for the break, but thank you for the call. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
You guys get what I mean about that insurance, right?
Good morning from the True Oldies Channel Weather Center. I'm Mike Balsam. Plenty of clouds hanging out over your head this morning. We've got some light chances of rain that are increasing as we get closer to noon. Going to top out on the fuel side close to 100 later today.
And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
If you're driving in Boca this Tuesday morning, looks like there's a crash on 441 north of Palmetto Park Road. There's also a disabled vehicle in Boynton Beach on 95 northbound on ramp from Gateway Boulevard, and we're seeing delays on the Turnpike southbound between Okeechobee Boulevard and Lake Worth Road. This report is sponsored by Lowe's. At Lowe's, save big every day when you buy in bulk. Save 15% on select primed finger joint boards when you buy 10 or more. Because Lowe's knows Rose. Selection varies by location while supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details.
Now, guys, I just pinned the link to the top of the chat to Laporta Roofing. There's also a link in the description of the video. Tom Laporta at Laporta Roofing, he's been with us for years. He'll never sell you a roof you do not need. And here we are in rainy hurricane season in Florida. If you've got a wet spot on your ceiling, you have a leak in your roof. Tom Laporta, he's a good MAGA guy. He works with every type of roofing material there is, as well as every type of structure. Single-family homes, apartment buildings, condos, HOAs, municipal buildings, schools, churches, office buildings, warehouses. He works on every type of structure. He covers from Jupiter south to Miami, from Tampa south to Naples, and everywhere in between. And he'll never sell you a roof you do not need. If you have an HOA, he's the best. He'll work with that HOA and get everything done, get it done right. And I'm going to give you his number now. The link is pinned to the top of the chat to Laporta Roofing. There's even a link in the description of the video. LaportaRoofing.com, but this number rings directly to Tom Laporta's cell phone. So give him a call, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602 or online, LaportaRoofing.com. All right, guys? That's right. All right, we'll be back shortly. All right. If you're on hold, hang in there.
Craig here. If you're a homeowner, business owner, or with a homeowners association and your roof is old or compromised, you need to call Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting. With a AAA credit rating and bonded up to $10 million, Laporta Contracting doesn't need a large deposit like those other contractors do. Typical deposits other contractors want are 1/3 of the contract. If your job is $30,000, that's a $10,000 deposit. If your job is $300,000, that's $100,000. What are they doing with your money? Typically, it takes 3 to 4 weeks to get a permit, and HOAs, much longer. If they need money for the materials, they don't have credit with the suppliers, and that spells bad news for the homeowner or HOA. Tom Laporta is honest, knowledgeable, and reliable, and he'll never sell you a roof you don't need. Laporta Contracting has been in the roofing and contracting business since 1988, and his services cover the east and west coast of Florida and everywhere in between. Tom Laporta can handle any type of roofing job too: residential roofing and repair, commercial roofs, schools, municipal buildings, office buildings, emergency repairs. If it's roofing, Tom Laporta can do it. Call Tom Laporta right now on his cell phone, 954-604-4602, 954-604-4602, and online, LaportaContracting.com.
Greater South Florida Chamber Business Expo Health Fair and City Festival happens Wednesday, July 10 from 9:30 to 2:30 at the South County Civic Center in Delray Beach. Get healthy, get educated, and have fun. Your friends from the True Oldies channel will be there from 11 to 1 with raffles, giveaways, and so much more. Come out and say hi. It's the Greater South Florida Chamber Business Expo Health Fair and City Festival, Wednesday, July 10, 9:30 to 2:30 at the South County Civic Center, 16700 Job Road in Delray Beach. Learn more at GreaterSouthFloridaChamber.com.
Have you put off buying new tires because you thought they were too expensive? Find friendly prices at Friendly Tire in Margate on both new and used tires. New tires as low as $70 a tire. That's out the door and on the road, because Friendly Tire doesn't charge you to balance the tire or mount the tire. They have thousands of used tires in stock too, starting at just $30. Call for a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 47 years.
All right, our phones are very busy, and I'm very behind on our break schedule. That is my fault. I get wrapped up with some of you callers, and I take the breaks late, and then this happens. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Steve from Chicago.
Hey, Steve.
Hi, I got a couple of things I just want to mention and ask about. First of all, was Rush Limbaugh, was he screenless also?
No, he had a call screener.
It was so long ago, I forget. But he was the beginning of my conversion from, I used to be a liberal call listening to him, because I was in the music business, typical liberal, but he was my beginning of my conversion to conservatism. And I also wanted to mention about the Supreme Court. Supreme Court, I wanted to ask, is the education of people getting diminished that we have to worry about Supreme Court justice not being as smart? Because these Supreme Court justices were really smart in this, and I'm worried about the future
because
Yeah, you should. You should because we've got two generations of Americans, the millennials and the generation younger, that are totally brainwashed under Marxist communist ideology and don't even understand the basics of how our system works. The justices we have now are like my age and older, so they were educated properly. All right, hey, listen, I appreciate the call. All right, be safe in Chicago. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I debated Mr. Limbaugh back in the late '80s when he was IOD.
What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Al in Palm Beach Gardens.
Oh, Al, liberal Al. You debated Rush. Tell me about that.
It was nice.
Oh, you called his show. You called his show.
He called me a seminar caller. Big deal.
That's not a debate. That's not a debate. That is not a debate. You did not debate Rush Limbaugh. You called Rush Limbaugh. That is not a debate.
Well, I spoke to him a number of times.
Yeah, well, you're a chronic caller, but that doesn't mean you debated him. I'm sorry to take away your whole life story. How many times have you told people you debated Rush Limbaugh in your life? Oh, probably because you just made it up, right?
He knows that he was doing nights on IOD, and he knows I called him.
Rush Limbaugh was doing nights on WIOD?
Absolutely.
Are you drinking again?
I am.
Rush Limbaugh did nights on WIOD? I don't think so. All right, okay. I don't remember that at all. He was, actually, Rush was on in middays at ABC. Steve did mornings. He did 6 to 9, and Rush did 9 to noon. And the first hour of his show was local. That's when I was in high school, so I do know a little bit about it. All right, listen, we'll take our last break and be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9.
All right, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, good morning.
Precious metals doing it very well.
Awesome.
Still in our trading ranges. Yesterday we saw gold trade in a range of $2,317 all the way up to $2,339 before closing at $2,331.60. That was up $5.60. Silver gained 32 cents, closing out the day at $29.41 the ounce, while platinum lost $15 at $9.78, and palladium gained $5 at $9.68. This morning we see gold pulling back a little bit, down $7.40 at $23.24.20, while silver is up 3 cents at $29.43. Platinum gaining $15 right now at $9.93, and palladium up $20 at $9.88. So the markets continue in their trading ranges. Palladium and platinum basically holding pretty nice and working higher.
Yeah, these numbers are amazing. Now, this week, William Youngerman is closed on the 4th of July, which is Thursday, but normal business hours today, tomorrow, and Friday. So you guys know he is open on Friday. William Youngerman opens up at 10 a.m. You can stop in at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca on the first floor of the Bank of America building just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. You can give him a call, toll-free, 800-327-5010, 800-327-5010, and online, WilliamYoungerman.com. All right, William Youngerman, we'll talk tomorrow. All right, back after this.
On the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi.
Yes, Mike.
You got me off a while ago.
Yeah, because I was done talking to you. I had to move on, and it's one call per show.
Told you bang.
Well, but if you know it's one call, wait a minute. If you know that it's one call per show, why'd you call back? You have to do that. You'll have to do that on another day. It's one call per day. You'll have to call back another day, and you can set me straight then. No. It's one call per day. You know the rules, and you knowingly broke them. You can set me straight tomorrow, all right? You can even set me straight on the 4th of July because Steve and I will be here live on the 4th of July. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. Never Trumper Steve in Martin County. How you doing this?
Hey, Steve. Oh, bad day for you. Presidents have immunity.
Well, I don't know. I want to talk about something else, but when you talk about the...
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you want to talk about something else. What'd you call in about?
Brought this up just quickly. Do you think it's correct that he can sell pardons, let's say, for $1 million, because now that's basically legal, because pardoning is a legal function of the president?
Well, that has been the practice of presidents like Bill Clinton sold pardons. Absolutely, it's happened. You can't prosecute them for it. Sure, donors, absolutely. They've given pardons to donors, absolutely. That's money. Absolutely they have. Donors have gotten pardons. Yeah, remember Mark Rich? Yeah, I know, I just shot your point down.
But I wanted to talk about the...
Well, are you suggesting Bill Clinton be prosecuted for selling the pardon to Mark Rich?
I actually don't know the facts behind it.
Oh, that's why you're not MAGA. You don't know the facts. All right, what else you got?
Okay. All right. On the crime statistics of undocumented illegals, you don't bring up in comparison to what? And according to, there are many studies on this. In every study that you can pull up, undocumented workers commit crime at much lower levels than U.S.-born citizens. The study that was done by Northwestern University, take one, beginning in 1960, the incarceration gap widened. There's 60% less likely to be incarcerated.
That is, and in fact, illegals have the Biden migrants. They have the highest crime rate of any group in this country.
Why do you say the Biden?
Because Biden's... No, hold on. Don't get me bogged down on that. The illegals have the highest crime rate of any other group in this country. Did you know that?
What you just said is not true.
It is. They're 100% illegal, right? So that's a crime in itself. The fact that they're here is a crime. So they have a 100% crime rate. In fact, there's a lower rate of people in prison because some innocent people get convicted. So they have the highest crime rate of any group because they're 100% criminal. They're here illegally.
Since 1960, illegals commit crimes 60% less than.
Well, I don't know. If you're here illegally, you're a criminal. That makes them 100%. That makes them 100% criminal.
And let's talk about the actual crimes being committed by them once.
Well, all these crimes are preventable. They shouldn't have been here. I don't trust the numbers that you give, but let's just say they're true. So what? They shouldn't be here. All the people that they've killed or victimized would be alive and not victimized if the Democrats were doing their job. Jocelyn would not have been raped and murdered.
Or anyone killed this year. Since Trump told his media...
And by the way, slow down, Steve. Even if your numbers are true, these studies from, what did you say, 1960 and stuff, that's not relevant. The crime wave, the illegals that are coming here now, we know for a fact, this is a fact, Venezuela's crime rate has dropped since Biden has been president, 70 to 73%. So they're sending their criminals here. So whatever. Venezuela. They're bragging. They're bragging that their crime rate's down, and Trump does echo it.
He makes up those numbers.
Oh, so they're not. Oh, okay. So they're not. So the crime rate's not down in Venezuela, Steve. Come on.
It may be down, but don't translate that. Therefore, all of them came here and committed.
Everyone that's here is a criminal because they're here illegally. That's number one, a 100% crime rate. So far as the violent criminals, whatever statistics you have, even if they're real from the past, don't apply because this new wave for the last year or so of the emptied prisons from Latin America don't factor into those fake studies you cite.
Even your number would be down.
Tell me, excuse me. Tell me about 12-year-old Jocelyn that was raped and murdered by two of Biden's illegals. What are your thoughts on that?
Thing. Give me the next.
A terrible. I can hear the compassion in your voice. A terrible thing. All right, Steve, take care. He can't even pretend to care. Can't even pretend to care, can he? Terrible thing. 12-year-old girl raped and murdered. What a monster. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Eric from Miami.
Hey, what's up, Miami?
Hey, you're going to have to explain to me because I can't wrap my head around it.
Oh, here we go.
Democrats, they cry democracy is being lost, but here they are, the ones questioning. AOC and the likes trying to denounce the Supreme Court. So every time they come out here, crying that democracy is gone because of Trump, they're doing the exact same thing.
Correct. Well, they're not doing the same thing as Trump because Trump doesn't break the law. They're doing what they're accusing him of doing.
Yeah, exactly. They're doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, well, because their constituents are criminals, so they cater their rhetoric to criminals. I mean, you're calling from Miami, but Miami is a banana republic. You know.
He wanted to ignore the fact that the illegals coming over are breaking the law right then and there when they come into the country.
Listen, we all want to have lower crime everywhere, and it doesn't. I don't, by the way, buy his statistics that they commit crime at a lower rate than Americans. But even if that's true, so what? They shouldn't be here to commit any crime anyway. So those statistics are meaningless. That's right. They have the highest crime rate of any group because it's a 100% criminal demo. Hey, listen, welcome to the show. I appreciate your call, all right? Now, I want to tell everyone, if you're on hold, stand by. I'll squeeze in another call or two. But I want to talk first, though, about Joe Thomas, Jupiter Joe Thomas. He's amazing. You know, he was here in studio last week, and he dropped something that I did not know that was huge. He said to get invested in annuities, which are absolutely amazing because with annuities, your money is safe. It doesn't go up and down like with the stock market. Your money is safe. That you only need $2,000 to invest in an annuity. I had no idea. I thought you had to have like $50,000, $100,000, $200,000. You only need $2,000. I know $2,000 may sound like a lot of money, but if you have $2,000 in your bank account, what's going to happen to it? You're going to spend it on something, right? Call Joe Thomas. Joe Thomas is offering two things to you at no charge. First, free copies of his book, The Retirement Know-It-All, and free phone consultations. You can take advantage of the free phone consultation with Joe Thomas no matter where you're located. All right, give him a call, 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999. If you missed the number, just go to his website, JupiterJoe.com. That's JupiterJoe.com. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Don't have you gonna hang up on me again there, bro.
Well, you sound drunk. You sound drunk today. You're slurring your words.
Well, jeez, I said two things. You're so Brian. I'll tell you one thing. You're very persistent on your BS. Okay, I'll give you that.
Persistent? You mean consistent?
You went to college for radio, right? Not like
No, I did not. No, I did not go to college for radio. No. No, I went to college. Yeah, I didn't go. I went to college, but not and graduated, but I didn't go for radio.
Now let's just get this thing, man. I mean, it's like people don't. I mean, it's either Biden or Trump. People are very upset with either pick. Okay, and you know.
No, I'm not upset with Trump. I'm not upset with Trump.
Just think people are. You know, it's like if he didn't lie a whole bunch of times and a whole bunch of BS comes out of his mouth mostly.
Tell me the last time Trump lied, and what was the lie? The last time he lied.
I don't have that many fingers to count. Right?
Just pick one. Just pick one. Pick the middle finger. Pick your middle finger. I'm sure that's your favorite finger. Your middle finger. Tell me the last time Trump lied, and what was the lie? Excuse me. I think we found a lie of yours that Trump, and the lie is that Trump lies.
If people are, selling drugs, you're speaking one time.
Now, excuse me. You said Donald Trump tells so many lies that you don't have enough fingers. Pick the most recent lie that he's told and tell me what it was.
He said all these illegals and everybody's all getting all the Social Security and money.
He didn't say they're getting Social Security. They're getting money, that's for sure. Okay, so I didn't ask you to tell me lies you've told. Tell me lies Trump's told. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Yes, you're on the air. What's your name?
Good morning, Brian. This is Sandra from Del Rey.
Hey, Sandra, 20 seconds.
Yes, okay. You know, when you go to fill out an application, have you been jailed before? You know, this is, and you say yes, and they would hire you anyway. I don't care what Trump did in his personal life. He ran the country beautifully, and I love.
Well, first I'll say he did nothing wrong in his personal life, by the way. Nothing wrong.
Whether he did or he didn't, he ran the country, and I love this country, and people should be.
Well, I don't agree with that. Joe Biden paid for Hunter's hookers with his credit card at the Beverly Hills Hotel. I care what he did when he wasn't in office. I care what people do in their personal life.
He got money. It was for the country, doing something in exchange for the country. That's different.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Could you imagine if Donald Trump paid for hookers for one of his children on his credit card? What they would do? That's the Biden did. Biden did $30-some thousand in hookers for.
And Brian, with the immunity thing,
I'm out of time. Okay, listen, everyone. Thanks. We'll be back tomorrow at 6 a.m. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Take care.
WSFS 104.3.
All right, guys. If you're new, make sure you subscribe, and if you're already sub, please like the video if you don't mind. Okay, I appreciate it. Take care, guys.